Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to give a warning before the podcast starts that it might have some material that is not suitable for younger children. Also, this podcast is in no way spoiler free. They will talk about anything and everything that happens. It might be a movie that just came out or a book series that's been out for a while, but they will go over anything that comes to their mind. Also, I would just like to say that during this particular podcast, guys, you'll hear like some sort of buzzing in the background. It kind of sounds a little bit like an alien saucer. I just want you to know that as my fan, and that will not be in future podcasts. This will be the one and only time you have to deal with it, and then I promise you from here on in, it will no longer be an issue. And so, without further ado, let's get started. Hey everyone! So this is the first, finally got our feet off the ground podcast for the Kingdoms of the the Kingdom of Nerds. This is the Roundtable podcast. I am your king, Dylan. I am joined by my nerds of the round, Nick and Derek. You guys can introduce yourselves if you feel like it.
Well, you just introduced me.
Yeah.
Well,
You pretty much
beat
beat
it.
it. You beat us to the point.
you could have said something about yourselves.
Well,
All right.
We're people.
we're people of the nights.
This podcast is going to be particularly long, everyone, just because we're going to recap the entire month of June, specifically when it comes to movies. But on average, this will be about an hour and 30-minute podcast, not a 2-hour podcast like it is today. So,
Season premiere usually is 2 hours though. Gotta be.
season premiere. This is season premiere. Or are we going to be in seasons now? Is this
Season
like a
premiere.
television show?
This is usually how it works.
Well, let's start off, if we're recapping movies, with the movie of June that I think we all probably nominated our favorite was Edge of Tomorrow.
Yes.
I mean, that movie was fucking amazing.
Or
pretty good.
Edge, as the new posters say.
Just
Oh,
Edge.
right, sorry. No, the critically acclaimed posters say Cruise Blunt Edge.
Yep, pretty much.
Yes.
They basically Groundhog Day and
Well, I mean,
It's
it
like
was
Ryan
originally
mixed
supposed to be called All You Need Is Kill. And,
Really?
Really?
That was the original
Wow.
title of the film. Then,
I kind of like the new one.
then it was
Yeah.
changed to Edge of Tomorrow, but now that the movie's doing well critically, I guess they only want to refer to it as Cruise Blunt Edge.
makes sense. Like
Why don't they just call it Groundhog's Day starring Tom Cruise? Because it's just Tom Cruise doing what Tom Cruise does in most of his action movies, but then with the repeat factor on it.
with the
Yes,
Saving Private Ryan
but
beach scene.
Tom Cruise, I still believe, is a very underrated actor.
No, I'll
And
agree with you.
He's
that
very
completely.
good in
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow, and he's been very good in the last few pictures he has made, like Jack Reacher.
I
and
love
Mission
Jack
Impos-
Reacher.
Jack
Mission
Reacher was
Impossible
really
Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol was awesome. I was sketchy about seeing that movie, but
It's
yeah.
better than 3.
Everyone told me, I didn't see Jack Reacher in the theaters. Everyone told me that that movie was terrible, but it was mostly the people who read the books. I saw it, not reading the books. I was like, this is fucking fantastic.
It was. I saw a preview of it that
It'll
had
be
like a
child
special introduction from Tom Cruise. So before the movie started, it was Tom Cruise in the black room, like talking about how I'm very excited for you to see this movie, and then the movie played, and no, it was really good. It was very, very good. I mean, yeah, I haven't read any of the Jack Reacher novels, and I know that it's One Shot is the novel that is the Jack Reacher
It's a
movie.
big child book. My mom reads a bunch of them.
Yeah.
She's a big fan of.
Anyone actually read it?
My mom's a
here?
big fan of each
No,
other.
no.
Yeah,
but
she's read that book though. She said.
I mean, I would have preferred if the movie was called One Shot, because Jack Reacher is just a generic movie title.
Well, then he did like Oblivion, like what, a month later?
That
His
was,
name was also Jack, and I'm like, is Tom Cruise just gonna be Jack for the rest of his movies?
it's okay.
No,
Movie's
Oblivion was
alright.
terrible. That's not even Edge of
I
Tomorrow.
like
That's what we're
Oblivion.
supposed to be
Yeah,
talking
what
about.
the hell?
I loved Edge of Tomorrow. My only problem was the aliens weren't that cool. I didn't find them to be that great. I mean, don't get me wrong.
It looked like-
didn't take me away from the movie at all. I was still like, it's fucking fantastic when I walked out of it. But they were
Like I
just
said in the
squids.
like I said in the theater when I was there with you, like this brings back a video game there, but like the aliens looked sort of like the aliens looked sort of like Ouroboros from Resident Evil 5. I'm not gonna lie. Remember what I was saying?
Yeah, no,
yeah, they
yeah,
looked-
and I can agree with you. They're
tentacles
just like a
come-
robot version.
yeah.
basically,
Well, when they
of it.
shot 'em, like the robots and all that stuff came out. All the goo.
The aliens didn't bother me. I mean,
They were
Yeah.
just like squids that like tumbled as they came at you.
They were more threatening than the Sentinels from the Matrix, I thought.
I
so.
guess.
True. Those weren't very threatening.
I mean, if you before Tom Cruise got it, but if you like think about the power that they had, then like fucking unstoppable. Because every time they did something wrong, they were just like, all right, let's fix it, try again. Like,
Yeah, there was like random scenes where she just blew her head off. Like, oh yeah, fix this.
I would love to have the tally count of how many times he gets shot in the face in the movie.
I think there was about 20 times.
or just died in general.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
any rate.
I think one time he drown. It was like towards the end.
Yeah, he
drowned
drowned
himself.
himself.
He drowned
Well, that's
himself
why. So
because that blue
Yeah.
alien came in there.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
tried
one.
to bleed him out.
He
so
didn't
wouldn't
want the,
regenerate.
the-
Well, he wouldn't wake up again.
Yeah, the aliens to take.
Well, if
power
you
from
like,
him.
I think it was if he bled out and then the.
If he had his like blood changed, because that's what happened. He had
Yeah.
the blood transfusion when he got
He
into
had
the
blood
accident.
transfusion.
yeah.
That's what screws it up, and you can't do it anymore. But they ends up doing it anyway. So
Because we have to reach a third act.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a
we had
film
to have that
structure.
whole like last 20 minutes where it wasn't action packed and it was just like the soldiers trying to do stuff.
Bill
then,
Paxton's
you know.
Hudson.
He was Hudson.
That was great though.
I liked it. How you put that in there. It was pretty cool.
I like though when he got run over by the truck, instead of immediately restarting when Tom Cruise waking up, we got to see what would happen in that time loop, I guess, after he got hit by the truck. Where there's that moment where Bill Paxton's like, "What are you doing, boys?"
He goes,
Like,
what the hell are you
yeah,
doing?
I mean that was very funny. Then we restart.
Yeah, and then
Tom
he starts
Cruise
and does
wakes
it
up
again. He's like, all right, you gotta tell me that I have to do over here, that I'm punishment,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I liked how he started getting the hang, like he's starting to get the hang of it. He knew what they were gonna say.
Well, yeah. I mean, I really wish like they would release the counts of how many times he respawned because like within that time he trained himself and every time he died was always like a 2-day period. You had like the day he got on the base, sleep for a night, and then the day he assaulted
Yeah.
them. And
It was always the day of
repeat.
the assault is when he died.
Yeah.
Well, besides like a few times.
So
down
he
in
always
base.
had like 1 day's worth of training, 1 day's worth of 1 day worth of like in training room training, and then 1 day worth of in combat training, and then repeat. So I mean, but by the end of the movie, he became the badass. Like fucking, that's when all the soldiers were like, "Who the hell is this new guy?" I love the scene when he was about to drop, and he said to the other guy, "He's like, I'm gonna need 2 extra batteries, like some more mags." Like it was cool, and he's like, "This guy fucking knows what
Oh
he's
yeah,
doing."
don't you need a helmet?
Yeah,
It gets
it's
in the
like,
way.
gets in
Oh,
the
yeah. No.
Well, it went from being in the beginning like he wasn't a badass. I love the scene where he's like, "How do you turn the safety off?" And he's like,
Oh, yeah,
it's in
he's-
Japanese.
He's
like
looking,
the
he's
whole
looking
thing.
around. Yeah, he's looking around like aiming it. He's like, oh, you turn this on.
I also like that the first time he actually dies before he respawns, I guess you would say, but the first time he actually dies is
Yeah, that was
truly
like his true
terrifying.
death,
That is
yeah, when
truly
he-
terrifying.
his
yeah.
face is like melting.
He got like
off.
burned half. Yeah, he pretty
Yeah.
much got burned to crisp. There was nothing left of him. But then he respawns.
Well, yeah,
And then he
because
responds.
it's a video game. No,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
not.
much,
It's
pretty
a
much
very
all.
good movie.
How would
It's
you
a
turn
really
that into a video game? I guess it would just be that you just respawn.
Yeah.
You can explain the respawn mechanic for once.
Basically, was he just respawned every time he died?
But no, that was fantastic.
It was a good
fucking
movie. I was iffy about seeing it until you convinced me to see it. And I was like,
And I made you see it in IMAX too. I was like, we have to see this in IMAX 3D. Like, it's great.
I saw the trailer for it when I saw Her. That was the first time I heard of it, and I was like, all right, Tom Cruise, I'll see
It's
it.
Tom Cruise action
Yeah.
movie. Like, I'll see it because I like Tom Cruise in action movies and other movies, but mostly in action movies. He does that well.
Yes.
oh, he's good at that. It's probably his pride.
I don't know if you saw it. I know you saw it. 22 Jump Street.
Yes,
That was great.
22 Jump Street was great.
I was blown away. I thought it was better than the first one.
I don't know if it was better than the first one. 21 Jump Street is very, very funny. 22 Jump Street is equally as funny. But they're like two different movies. Yes, they have the same structure and basically the
They
same
made
sort
fun
of things
that
happen.
in the second one
But
the whole
the
time.
second
He's
one
like,
is-
do the same thing.
That's why I say like 22 Jump Street is the anti-sequel because it's just making fun of the fact that it is a sequel and the whole end credits.
Oh, with the 23, 24,
the whole
like, all the way
end credits
to, like, 50 Jump Street.
franchising jokes are so amazing that I hope there is not a 23 Jump Street.
No,
they can't do anymore after hitting all those
Well,
gags.
I mean, what do you do after college, honestly? Besides, like, the gags
Well,
that they
medical
did.
school, as
Like,
they say in the film, but no, it just it.
No, when it was Seth Rogen, and then he leaves, and he's like, "What contract dispute? I don't know what you're talking about." When Jonah Hill came back, that was funny. But you can't. The whole scene with Ice Cube at the father-daughter
Oh,
dinner
yes,
with the
that
family
was,
dinner.
I was
laughing so
hysterically.
loud in the theater. It was ridiculous.
I actually lost it when Channing Tatum, Jenko, finally realized what
Oh
was
my
going
God,
on.
he's
That
running
was-
around the
yes,
office.
that was the
He's
part
like,
where I
"Oh,"
lost
and then
it.
Ice Cube said he was going to shoot him instead. No, that was great.
You
Yeah,
should see it.
I
It's
haven't
very
seen it,
good.
yeah.
Did you like the first one?
Well, when I went and saw, I saw the first one after it. Never saw it in theaters, but I was iffy on seeing it because I'm not a big fan of Jonah Hill. So
Neither am I, but
I don't. Yeah, but that's
and
why
I'm not a Channing Tatum fan either. But 21 Jump Street was
I love them
incredible.
both. I don't
They're
care what you
great
guys
Channing
together.
Tatum's okay. He's
I
trying.
mean,
I don't
I'm
care
a
if he's
Jonah Hill fan if it's The Wolf of Wall Street, not
I
That's
watched.
like his
Superman.
best role ever.
I
yeah.
watched part. Well, actually, Moneyball was. He was a pretty good role.
Good.
Yeah, but Moneyball
Moneyball-
was more serious. It wasn't really a comedy. Well, I mean, I guess Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street's a comedy. There's
Comedy
no
too.
way that's
Wolf of
not
Wall
a
Street is a
comedy.
black comedy.
That was
It is
hilarious.
a
I watched a
black
little bit of
comedy.
that movie.
A new issue day. But no, I like 22 Jump Street. I thought it was better than the first one.
It's very good. I mean, and so is the Lego movie by the same people.
I didn't see. You said he was in that. I still haven't.
I
seen
heard
the
it's
Lego
really good.
movie.
Yeah. It's the same type of ridiculous humor that the Jump Street movies have, but since it is a family film, it is
It's
toned
just
down,
like
and so
G-rated.
there
Oh
is
yeah,
no
we can't
there is no
handle
wild
I'd love to
cursing
see
in
a
it.
rated R Lego movie.
But yes,
Like,
Channing
how the hell
Tatum.
would that-
Channing Tatum's the voice of Superman in the Lego movie, and Jonah Hill is the voice of Green Lantern in the Lego movie.
No, I still haven't seen that. I'm definitely dying to. I got distracted with Frozen at that time of the year. That's because I saw Frozen.
But Frozen came out in November.
And it was in
last year.
theaters until February.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, Frozen's good too. I like Frozen.
That's a whole nother story. Fucking.
I've
Now
seen-
it's like over. I like Tangled more, but we're not. We're not gonna debate Pixar, Disney princess movies.
I'm gonna go Frozen over Tangled, but I like Tangled. Tangled's really good, but no.
Did
Frozen.
either of you see How to Train Your Dragon 2?
I
No.
Oh.
I barely saw How to Train Your Dragon 1.
It
No,
was
I
so
saw,
good.
I saw How to Train Your Dragon.
I have yet to see both of them. So
By
Oh,
Chris Sanders,
great
who was one of the
movies. I mean-
directors on Lilo and Stitch, and that's why Toothless is kind of like Stitch.
And kinda. He
Kinda.
has that pet aspect,
Yes.
but with a personality and
Like-
smarter.
but I do need to see it. I've heard it's good. So
It's a kids movie. Don't
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna say it's
But
not.
I was
It's a
like,
kids
I
movie,
I have a
but,
few
I
kids
think
movies,
they're
and I was
fucking-
like, I had to
they're
see.
great
I still like
for
the Ice
movies.
Age movies.
I've never seen any of the Ice
The
I've
Ice
seen the
Age-
first one, and I thought it was great. After that, I was like,
The
yeah.
first second one, I thought it was, but like the same thing. I was a big fan of the Toy Story movies.
I was too busy seeing Sam Raimi's Spider-Man when the first
Oh,
Ice Age came
God.
out, so I was like, no.
Which Spider-Man?
The first
The
one.
Sam
first one?
Raimi's
Oh.
first.
Yeah.
Is
Is
he
that
the first? I thought he was all of them. Did he direct all of them, or did he?
I don't think he
Sam
did the
Raimi
third.
did 1, 2, and 3. And Mark Webb did
Did the new ones.
amazing,
Oh,
amazingly bad.
we'll be here for
Spider-Man,
hours. if we talk
amazingly
about
bad,
amazing.
amazingly
Spider-Man.
badder Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we'll be here for another hour talking about how terrible those
Oh,
movies were.
you could do 5 hours of talking about how bad the
We could
amazing
just do
Spider-Man
like
reboot is.
a whole day of just how bad.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
movies
you
are.
probably could.
Oh yeah,
One
I
day.
can
And we all have different reasons for them too.
I can rant
Minus
until
the
Kingdom Come
storyline.
out. Oh, the story, yeah. Ugh.
I was just
But no, 22 Jump Street is a great movie, and that's,
I love 22 Jump Street. You guys need to see How to Train Your Dragon 2, even if you haven't seen it. Well, I mean, watch the first one because it is in order. And I know you guys still haven't seen Transformers 4.
I don't know if I'll get around to
I don't
it.
know
I'll
if I wanna
probably-
see
I'll
it.
probably red box it.
I'll
It's
probably
just-
bootleg
It's
it.
probably worth a red on DVD.
I'll probably
Yeah.
bootleg copy
I mean,
that.
I know that Optimus Prime's first lines in the movie when he wakes up and shooting at the government agents like, I will kill you all, and it's like, oh, Optimus
God.
should not be angry toward humans, nor kill
But I
humans.
heard that if you're like
That was the best scene in the movie when he kills this human. I was just like, holy shit.
I've heard from like some of the people told me like if you're a big Gen 1 fan from Transformers, like Eric, you told me this. If you're a big Gen 1 fan, like it's up your alley, but I don't know.
Well,
I,
alright, like I said, if you know the story of Transformers and like all the stuff they do, like you know the creator storyline, which this is what it's leading into. It doesn't
Right.
dabble much into the creator storyline in this movie, but you know it shows like a glimpse of one of the creator's hands, and we know what that leads into. And then like the humans are building the Transformers, which I don't Like, as I recall, I don't remember them doing that in the
No,
series.
nor
But
do I remember Transformium.
yeah, Transformium.
I mean,
Unobtainium. Fucking
yeah.
stupid namium.
Some name.
When they're building their Transformer and they have like the main one and like this is the one who's supposed to replace Optimus Prime and they're like, we're gonna call him Galvatron. Like I'm like,
Oh, no,
what's
yeah.
gonna happen? Like it was just too obvious.
To me, Transformers is just the first 2 seasons of the original cartoon and the animated movie. I don't count season 3 or 4. I enjoy the Michael Bay movies, the first 3. Yes, they're not art. They're
No.
not. They will not be on the Criterion Collection anytime soon.
It's just robots with
But
explosions.
I enjoyed them for what they were, and I'm content with the Battle of Chicago at the end of the 3rd one. That I don't need to see Optimus Prime fighting anymore.
But Dinobots.
As glorious as him riding Grimlock looks on a poster or in a cardboard
That's
display
probably
movie
the only
theater,
redeeming factor of that
it's
movie.
not enough for me to go see it. It's not enough for me to see Mark Wahlberg doing his Boston accent go, "Hey, Prime, we're gonna do it. It's all right."
He's a Texan in the movie.
Yeah, I see. Whatever. And he can jumpstart Optimus Prime with jumper cables. Really, I thought you needed like the Matrix of leadership to spark a Autobot or something. Whatever.
Smart Wahlberg. What do you
like,
know?
Oh yeah, he is ripped and jacked. And he's got
Yeah.
It's just
muscles,
Mark
so-
Wahlberg.
Smart Wahlberg.
But he doesn't make up for the movie. Nor does Optimus riding Grimlock. It's still the biggest killer of the movie is the 3-hour fucking runtime.
That's just insane.
And after a while, I'm like, this fuck. And the Dinobots are like the last 20 minutes. That's it. Like, so
Yeah.
you still have to deal with the rest of the fucking movie with no Dinobots. Trying to like put this not grand story into play. It's just like, oh god. I wanted to fall asleep, but I didn't. I stuck to my guns.
How could you fall asleep with all the explosions?
I know all the explosions. There was a point.
And
in
the
movie.
American flags.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There
And
was
the product placement.
everywhere.
I mean, it's probably I haven't seen it, but I mean, it's probably as bad as the product placement in Man of Steel.
Oh.
Oh no, there's a
Oh
specific
man,
scene.
we have to hide. Let's go into Sears or this IHOP. It's
There's
like,
a specific scene, and like you've seen a bit of
We'll
it in
blow
the
apart the
trailers,
city.
but like Mark Wahlberg's flying a spaceship, and he like crashes into a Bud Light truck, and there's Bud Lights everywhere, and then he hits that guy's car, and it's the whole
the
scene where the guy's
commercial
like,
thing,
"Hey, do you have insurance?" And he's like, "It's an alien spaceship."
The alien spaceship. Like, ow.
That's where they cut off the trailer, but then you don't see the scene where like Mark Wahlberg pops open a beer for the guy. And he's like, "Here." I mean, he might as well have been like Bud
Oh,
Light.
so it's like
refreshing.
it's like the end
here
of
you
World
go.
War Z when Brad Pitt's got the cure, and then he like opens up the Pepsi soda machine to distract all the zombies, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a Pepsi
It's like,
because it's the taste of a new
refreshing.
generation." It's like, oh, what is he doing?
Wasting time.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of the scene from Wayne's World where they're like, "We'll
Oh,
never
yeah.
sell out," and they're like, "Delicious."
Oh, I can't handle this. I have a headache. Here, try this. New print. Different, yellow.
Oh, it was great. I can't right now. That's it though for movie. Oh, unless anyone saw Clint Eastwood's musical.
Jersey Boys, no, I have not seen it. I did not see Jersey Boys, the stage show, on Broadway or on a tour. But I find it odd that Clint Eastwood would make Jersey Boys, and having seen the trailers, I've even heard a common criticism in all the reviews that it looks so bleak and the colors are saturated and it's not
Clint
very
Eastwood, though.
happy. And it's like, well, yeah, all Clint Eastwood movies look like that. So it is very strange that it has the look of a Clint Eastwood movie. Yeah, it's like, hey, it's the Four Seasons. We're gonna sing
Yeah.
songs, but there's no color and no life. I honestly think that Clint Eastwood should have stopped making movies after Gran Torino.
Well, like, stop starring him or
well,
stop directing? Because directing, he's a whole different story.
I think Gran Torino was
Maybe
the
both.
last great Eastwood
Well, he's
movie.
good in starring, and directing, it's a little bit different.
I loved Gran Torino, but I mean, what did he do after that besides Jersey?
He did a
Boys?
movie with.
But he did.
There's one movie with Matt Damon where it was like something with ghosts. He directed that. too.
I think he directed Changeling after Gran Torino.
That
Blue
was a
Angel
good
Jolie.
movie. Okay,
He
it
did
wasn't
He
spectacular.
did two with Matt Damon. The one with the Afterlife Hereafter. He did Invictus.
And
With the
Hereafter
rugby.
movie was boring as hell.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't see those.
but I mean,
Yeah, it was boring.
if he wants to keep on making movies and direct them, that's fine. But I mean, Gran Torino
Just
is
make sure
really
they're good.
no. Gran Torino really should have been his last on-screen performance, but then he did Trouble with the Curve,
Which
Oh,
one
I
is
didn't
that?
see that either.
which was really just a 2-hour movie of Clint Eastwood going, yeah, young people,
I'm Clint
old,
Eastwood.
And then of course that movie got
I used to be in westerns.
yeah, that movie of course got destroyed because of the whole RNC, him talking to the stool. All the critics bashed it because he did the talking to the stool thing when he was at the Republican National Convention.
Oh,
like, He
yeah.
was talking to Obama. And I mean, the movie's not great. It's not horrible like critics gave it, but it's like Clint Eastwood didn't need to be in that
No.
movie. But no, it just
No, it just has to be.
This isn't in June, but did anybody see Tammy? No. It's
no,
fucking terrible.
no. Did anybody see The Heat? No. Well, sadly, people did see The Heat, but I was not.
I'm not gonna be
I don't. Nothing against Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock, I like Sandra
Sandra
Bullock.
Bullock's
There's nothing
great.
to say, yeah.
Not in Gravity though. I'm not gonna go there.
Gravity was fantastic. How
I
dare
did
you?
not
guys.
like Gravity.
Gra-
Why don't
Gravity
you
is a
like Gravity?
masterpiece.
That was amazing.
Gravity
No,
was the best film
it
of
was
last year.
boring.
That was not
Because
what
it's
Wall
not like
Street, but Gravity was
like
amazing.
Armageddon's Jerry Bruckheimer
No,
where
no.
explosions and fire.
No,
and-
I actually like that of the movie. I love the whole scene where it's the space station crashing into the other one, and it's completely silent because, like, if you put fucking Michael Bay to direct that movie, you know it would be like and just fucking
Oh, there'd be
explosions,
fire in
and
space
You would
and-
hear everything. Like, no, that's actually one of the redeeming factors I liked of that movie. That whole scene was completely silent because no one can hear you scream in space.
Yes,
but
Alien taught us that. But,
I just didn't like it. I didn't.
it
feel
was
like
a masterpiece.
Sandra
It
Bullock's
was
movie, and then at the
brilliant.
end, she was just like, "I'm saved."
It was brilliant. I love how it ended with her standing up. Brilliant. Sandra Bullock should have won the Academy Award for it, but she didn't win because she already has one for The Blind Side, which she should not have won. Julia and Julia. Meryl Streep should have won for Julia and Julia and not the Iron Lady. I'm getting into the whole politics of the Academy Awards.
we're not going to talk about the
But
Oscars and
Kate
how wrong they
Blanchett
are.
did not deserve to win for Blue Jasmine. It should have gone to Sandra Bullock. She was incredible in the movie. The movie was incredible. The movie could not be made without her. The movie could not be made by anybody other than Cuarón. It was spectacular.
No, I would not replace the movie itself. I would not replace anybody. Like everyone did their.
And
Picture
originally,
perfectly.
it was supposed to be Angelina Jolie and Robert Downey Jr.
No.
So
No, I
yes,
couldn't
the
see
movie would not have worked if it was
Robert Downey Jr.
Maleficent
say something-
in space.
Robert Downey Jr. say
No.
something stupid
No.
act like Tony Stark.
But then again, Maleficent didn't work either. So
Didn't see that either.
Maleficent's
I don't even
terrible.
want to see it.
Maleficent is a cinematic destruction of one of the all-time great Disney
And
animated
Sleeping
films.
Beauty is probably
Well, most
my
of it, yeah, they've
favorite
been
old
doing that. Like,
classic,
they make
too.
like darker sides of these.
They're doing like
Whoa.
live
What
action
was
versions.
Disney Snow White's and the Huntsman too? or
No, that was Universal.
Okay,
That was
'cause I gonna
Universal.
say, like,
and
that part-
apparently they're making a sequel.
The
Apparently they're
Huntsman,
making The
no, it's
Huntsman,
supposed to
and it
just
may
be The
be directed by
Well,
Frank
it's just like the
Darabont,
fairy
apparently.
tales in general. Like, you ever watched
They're
the Wizard?
redoing them.
Like
Yeah.
the Wizard of
Disney-
Oz,
yeah.
but in the Wizard of Oz, they make like a serious show called The Oz, The Road of Darkness, and there's one with James Franco.
Well,
and I never
Disney-
saw that one.
Disney's doing live action versions of a bunch of their animated films. I know Cinderella is coming up next.
Yeah,
and
that's-
Kenneth Branagh is directing that, and I love Branagh, so I'll see it. I know Jon Favreau is going to do a live action Jungle Book, and it's like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Maybe it will not be as bad as the 90s live action Jungle
Oh my
Book.
God.
But
They do the
They should
Tarzan.
bring
Bill-
Jungle to Jungle.
Bill Condon, who just came
Jungle
off
to
the
Jungle.
Bill Condon, who just came off the amazing masterpiece that
That's
is
an hour
the
movie?
Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2, Bill Condon has been hired to do a live-action version of Beauty and the Beast.
I sure do.
And it's actually going to be a live-action version of Beauty and the Beast. It is going to
Not
be.
like a
It
retelling,
is going to
just
be
the story of
the
Beauty and
musical.
the
It is going to be the animated film done in live action. So I'm guessing it's going to just be the Broadway show made to be a film. But
That
it's like,
actually sounds
why do you
great.
want to do that? Don't do that. Why are you doing the same thing? I mean, Maleficent.
But if you change it, everyone's going to have backlash on it.
Maleficent was a good idea. They could have done Maleficent. They could have done Sleeping Beauty from the point of view of Maleficent, and it would have been fine. but they turned
They just
Maleficent
twisted
into
it.
a hero, and they made King Stefan evil, and they basically turned to the Disney version of Kill Bill, because Stefan cuts off her wings, and then she's been violated, she's been kind of raped, and she's out for revenge. That's the subtext of what's going on, and the whole stupid thing, I guess spoilers, no, we've been
No, you can
ruining,
spoil it. I
we've
don't
been
care.
ruining everything so far we've been
Yeah.
talking about, but the point is, King
Spoiler,
yeah.
by the way, guys.
Yeah.
We do spoilers.
Prince Philip. Prince Philip shows up for like 10 minutes in the movie, and as friends of mine said, they were waiting to see Philip fight Maleficent as a dragon. She doesn't turn into a dragon. Her pet raven turns into a dragon. Her pet raven, which was named Diablo in the original animated film, they never said it in the movie, but if you know, the name is Diablo, even though she only calls it pet in the film. But in this new version of Maleficent, his name is changed to Diabla, because we can have a devil reference with Maleficent, because she's not the villain, she is the hero. But the point is, Prince Philip goes to kiss Aurora and wake her up, and it doesn't work. Maleficent kisses Aurora on the head and wakes her up, because, a motherly love, a friendship is the truest love of all. And it's like, oh,
So
stop it.
basically, it turned Sleeping Beauty into a Cinderella Had It Coming story
Yeah.
because her father was evil. Like,
I mean, I love the original Sleeping Beauty. I love it because of how straightforward it is, and it's not really deep, and there's no hidden meaning to it. I love that Maleficent is just evil for the sake of being evil. She felt slighted that she was not invited, and it's like, okay, well, your daughter's gonna die there. And I love the ending of the final act of the animated film, where she kidnaps Prince Philip. She kidnaps Prince Philip just because she can, and she even says, oh, I'm gonna release you like when you're in your 90s, and when you're in your 90s you can go and kiss Aurora and wake her up, and you'll be in 90 something, and she'll be 20, and everything will be fine. I mean, that's great. That's why Maleficent's one of the all-time great Disney villains. But this movie does
she's
everything.
evil to be evil.
Yes, she's the mistress of evil. Her name is Maleficent.
Only a
It's
few villains that
malevolent
have
and
that.
magnificent put
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Only a few villains are usually that. Usually most villains are out for revenge or something.
Well, no, it's like villains these days fucking suck because it's either they're being corrupted by someone, like they're never truly evil. It's like there's a darker power controlling them, or like they have like a legitimate reason, like how this one's supposed to be, how Maleficent was wrong. Like no one's just evil to be evil anymore. No one's just like I'm bad
Yeah, I
because
mean,
fuck you.
You know,
like,
Electro now is only evil because Spider-Man's face is
Oh,
on
God.
a TV screen, and he got jealous.
I said war.
Oh god, yeah, I
No.
saw that
No.
Hot Toys is making a Jamie Foxx Electro.
He actually wore
Figure.
the suit too, which I thought was.
Yikes.
Everybody who in the villains of that show, that whole movie series, no one. He's the only that wore
I've
a
actually
suit.
heard that Amazing Spider-Man 3 has been postponed.
I wonder why.
Well, it only made 200 million domestically,
Only.
which is not good.
It was.
No,
It is the lowest amount of any Spider-Man film.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's not surprising.
And you have to remember that when the Raimi films were made, there was no 3D, there was no IMAX, and there was no inflated ticket prices like there
No,
are
there
today.
wasn't.
So
No. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Well, that was one thing about Transformers is like its biggest like tagline, catchline, whatever, like on the posters. It's like shot on the first ever 3D IMAX camera. So basically, like all these other movies, like they're not actually true 3D. It's just like edited in post. They're like,
yeah, a lot of
let's
films.
make more money by making this 3D. I mean, what was the
But-
last true 3D movie? Like Avatar? Like that one was shot completely in 3D.
I think Gravity was shot completely in 3D as well.
I didn't see it in 3D.
yeah,
I
it
didn't
was.
see
It
this.
was that Avatar was shot
Yeah.
in 3D.
I don't, because I think Dark of the Moon, I think some of it was shot in 3D and some of it wasn't, even though it was shown fully in 3D. I'm not sure of the correct amount of how
No.
that was done.
I think it was. Yeah, Gravity and Avatar, which
3D
yeah,
is too much
they
of
were
a
shot in
block,
3D.
But
completely.
yeah, I know.
Not
There's,
IMAX.
there's a lot of post-conversion 3D to films that don't need it.
No, it's just to make extra money. I feel like it's not even the directors that have anything to do with that.
I saw
IMAX is a different story, though. That's just.
I saw Godzilla in 3D, but that was because I'm an idiot and I picked the wrong Showtime. It didn't need 3D, but I mean,
I saw that in IMAX 3D. It was fucking fantastic.
Godzilla was fantastic. But I
Godzilla
mean,
was-
it would have been fantastic without the 3D. I didn't need
Godzilla
it.
was probably one of the best movies I saw up there with
All
Captain
year.
America.
Oh, Captain
Godzilla
America
is probably my number 4 film.
Like
of the
those
year
were
right
the
now.
two films I
What are
liked.
the other 3?
3 is Edge of Tomorrow, 2 is The Winter Soldier, and number 1 for me is The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I'm a
okay.
film
Still
snob.
I
I am
haven't
a
seen
snob.
that, but I love his work. So.
Grand Budapest is fantastic. It may be the best Wes Anderson film, but I don't know if I want to say that because Rushmore is one of my favorite films. So.
No, so we weren't supposed to talk about movies for June. I guess we just listed them all this year.
Well,
We might as well.
What
we
is
don't
it?
know.
Lone Survivor? That came out like.
Nation's Pride? What? No, I did not see Lone Survivor.
It was good. I mean,
Well,
you know
what
what
movie is
happens
that? Lone
because
Survivor?
of the
Mark
one with Mark Wahlberg and the Navy
Oh,
SEALs.
no, I
Well,
was-
the title gives away the ending
Exactly,
of the movie.
and then like
No, I
people
don't
are like,
badmouth
oh,
it.
like well, you spoiled it for me. I'm like, but the movie's called Lone Survivor.
I'm not
It
trying to
means
badmouth
one
the movie
survivor.
at all, but I have heard that if
great
if
action
if a third world country was to make a version of Inglourious Bastards, the film that would be playing at the end in that theater would be Lone Survivor. That is what I have heard.
Wow,
I
So-
didn't see it.
it's good.
It's not one of those movies that's based off what true events. Or
It
something
is.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. They actually show at the end like the Navy SEAL that survived and his friend, one of the villagers that helped him in the movie.
Most of the movies do. They always at the end
I
of
don't
the
know
show.
if that came out like December of last year or June because
It came out in December for awards in New York and LA, and then it came out in January to
Okay.
the rest of us. who are
So
not
like if
watching
it's gonna contend for an Oscar, which it's
it was
not.
already. I think it was nominated for one of the sound design categories this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's movies that we've seen. Movies coming up. Obviously, the elephant in the room being Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Only good humans are dead human.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to Expendables 3.
That's down the line though.
That's like
Yeah.
next month.
It's August though. You still
Yeah,
have
Expendables 3, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes tomorrow.
No.
We have I'm gonna see the new Purge. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be
Oh
terrible.
yeah, it's gonna be
but
awful.
I'm gonna see it.
I'm not gonna.
Lucy. I think that looks great.
No,
It might not
yeah.
be.
I think that might-
maybe. Yeah, I mean.
I think that's
Transporter
that's another
films are
rip off
fun.
of Salt,
Taken.
but that's what I think.
But it's not even Angelina Jolie. It's
I don't
Scarlett
care. I don't care if
Johansson.
it's Scarlett
She doesn't have
Johansson.
superpowers in Salt.
Salt was a good movie.
You can see it in my kitchen. Bad joke.
Salt was a very good movie. Salt was one of the better action
I
movies
liked
of the
it.
past
He didn't like
decade.
it, but I don't see
like
how you
those-
can compare Salt and Lucy. They're two
See,
different movies.
I don't like Angelina Jolie, so I guess that's why I
I
had to
sorta
hate
like
Lipson.
her.
But
And
no,
I love
uh,
Scarlett Johansson.
Of course you do.
But I mean, I don't like Angelina Jolie.
You know,
but
she's been in
I
a lot of terrible
loved
movies
her in
too,
Salt.
so-
Salt is
Oh,
a
no,
very, very good movie.
Scarlett Johansson hasn't had. Her movies weren't always a home run, but I mean, she's a great actress.
Oh yeah.
Especially in Home Alone 3.
Oh, yeah, especially Eight-Legged Freaks and Eight-Legged Freaks. She was
I
phenomenal.
forget
That.
she's in that movie.
No, especially in Lost in Translation.
Uh,
That's actually a genuine comment because Lost in Translation is
I forgot
Um,
Home Alone 3. She was young in that one. I
Yes.
forgot she was young as hell.
Lucy's coming out, then you have Guardians of the Galaxy,
And
then
The
you have
Island.
Expendables 3.
Guardians of the Galaxy and Expendables 3 are the only two I'm looking forward to. I'm
Guardians, Expendables, and then.
I'm seeing Dawn.
Well, no, the
I'm
movie
forcing
I'm
you
the
to
movie
see
I'm
Dawn.
most looking forward to is in October. So,
What?
Gone Girl, David Fincher.
Gone Girl. What is that about? Because that looks.
It's based off of a novel where Ben Affleck's playing a guy who's being accused of killing his wife because his wife goes missing.
Well, that sounds interesting. Actually.
I know the whole story. I know the. I'm
Is
not
there like a
gonna.
book about it or something?
It is a novel, so
Yeah,
I know everything happens. But Fincher has said that the last third of the movie will not follow the last third of the book, so he's
Oh,
going to do
so-
his own thing with it. So I'm very intrigued with
Then
it.
that might be a
And
reason to see it. Then.
I love
besides to
I
see
love
it.
David Fincher. I'm a huge fan of Fincher, and I think that he should have won Oscars for his last two films. Social Network and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I didn't see Girl with the Dragon Tattoo,
Fantastic.
but Social Network was.
Girl with the
fucking
Dragon
amazing.
Tattoo. Fincher's version is better than the Swedish version.
Oh.
And that might
I
be
didn't see
blasphemy
that.
to
You
some
got
people.
Daniel
I was
Craig,
iffy about it. I wasn't sure.
It-
I didn't know. It was one of those movies I thought if I was watching, I was like, man, this. I don't understand what the fuck's going on.
It just.
It was like some of the
Brilliant.
movies, like Body of Lies.
And
I
I
watched
know
that. And I
if
was like,
someone actually listens to this, they will go blasphemy. No, the Numi Rapace, or however you pronounce her name, that version, the Girl with Dragon Tattoo, is superior. No, Fincher's version is
Yeah,
better because
I thought it was
Fincher
one of those
is a
movies that I would
master
understand.
filmmaker.
Like,
It is
what
just-
Body of Lies was like the same way. You couldn't understand what the hell was going on. There was
That's
always
how
a
I feel
plot
about,
twist, everything.
Scorsese. And
Oh.
he never gets the Oscar.
Well, he has one. He has The
Just
Departed.
for The Departed,
He has The
though.
Departed.
Come on!
Well,
Scorsese,
Scorsese,
yeah.
he was not nominated for Taxi Driver. He lost for Raging Bull. He lost for Last Temptation of Christ, which is a great movie. He lost for Goodfellas to Kevin Costner for Dances with Wolves. And he lost...
Goodfellas,
yeah,
really?
Yes.
He lost to that?
Yes.
That was a good
And
movie.
he lost for Gangs of New York as well.
And Wolf of Wall
And
Street.
Wolf of Wall Street and Hugo. Which he should have won for Hugo if they really were going to give it to the guy for The Artist. Because does anybody remember The Artist? Oh, I saw it in movie theaters. I liked it, but I'm
Well,
like, I'll forget about this movie
That's
in
what the
5
Oscars
years.
is now. Is like it's a 3-hour ceremony, but like the first 2.5 hours are all those awards that you don't even know. Like,
Oh
there's
yeah,
just
but I
some,
mean that.
like,
But that's the Oscars in general. If you compare it to the older days, you know, if
Oh,
you look
yeah.
at the older days, there's movies that, if it was in modern times, would never get nominated. Mary Poppins was nominated for Best Picture. The Towering Inferno was nominated for Best Picture. Jaws, Star Wars. That doesn't happen
no,
nowadays.
it doesn't. You won't see.
Raiders of the Lost Ark was
You're not going
nominated
to
for
see
Best Picture.
Godzilla up as
Yeah.
Best Picture for
The Exorcist is the only horror film to be nominated for Best Picture. That's never going to happen again.
No, they're too pretentious.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Now they give it to the movies like the.
Ones who have great things. Don't get me
The
wrong.
one-
Like
like,
stuff
the-
like The King's Speech was great.
King's
one-
Speech was a good movie.
The one with the Butler. I think
Social
it's-
Network was
Butler?
better.
Yeah.
The movie's called The Butler.
No,
Although I
it's called The
contend
Butler.
Toy Story
The
3
one
is
about
better.
the guy in the White House, right? The
Yeah,
first black
he-
butler in
yeah,
the
the
White
first
House.
black
It's
butler.
called The Butler.
Yeah, that one like
It's
won.
alright.
That one won.
12
like-
Years a Slave won Best Picture
Both-
last year.
yeah,
and,
both-
and I
yeah.
saw the movie, and
Oh,
it's
there was
not
also,
very good.
I still haven't seen Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club
Which
is,
everyone
is
tells
okay.
me the same thing. They said Matthew McConaughey's acting is great in the movie, but
And the
it
shirt's
didn't
not on.
trump Leonardo
McConaughey's very
DiCaprio.
good in the movie, and Jared Leto is very good in the movie as well. The movie is just okay. The movie robbed me of a death scene for Jared Leto. I wanted to
Aw.
see his death scene because it cuts when he dies to another scene. I'm like, oh, I would have liked to see that. It might have been.
Does
spectacular.
McConaughey have his shirt off in any scene?
Yeah, he's very scrawny. I mean, McConaughey's good. McConaughey's a good
Oh, yeah,
actor
he's
as
good.
No,
well.
I
mean,
love
but
McConaughey.
it's
Rain
just
of
like,
Fire was amazing.
McConaughey's one scene, Rain of Fire, is a masterpiece.
It
He
is.
shaved his head. They didn't tell him to do that. McConaughey's scene in Wolf of Wall Street is better than his entire performance in Dallas Buyers Club.
You have that classic.
Yeah.
But,
but no, it's like,
No, Planet of the Apes. Was anybody excited for that besides me?
no, because
It was
I
so
only like the
good.
original Planet of the Apes, and I like Beneath the Planet of the Apes, because Beneath the Planet of the Apes has one of the greatest endings in
Did you
movie
like
history.
Rise? Did you like Rise?
No,
Ah.
I couldn't stand Draco Malfoy telling him to get his damn dirty buzz.
I watched a series. It's called like Cinema
He
Sins.
was in it, wasn't it? That was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, it was Drake. He got killed at the end.
I
or
watched
something
Cinema
like that.
Sins, and when they were doing like the part of him for the movie Rise, he's like, I feel like the director just told him to play Draco Malfoy in this movie. They're like, hey, you know what you did in the Harry Potter movies? Just do that here. I'm like, you're good. And he's like, all right.
Well, like, as we've said, Dawn to me just looks like
Conquest.
It just looks like a redone version of Conquest, and that could be a good thing, and that could be a bad thing.
But you have Sirius Black / Commissioner Gordon in the movie.
Gary Oldman,
Gary
as
Oldman,
he-
whose name I'll
which
never
will
remember.
lend credibility to anything, even the Book of Eli.
Although
But,
he looks exactly like freaking Commissioner Gordon in this movie.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's-
just
yeah.
Caesar, don't shoot my son, Caesar. But no, it's just
Oh, shoot my.
I don't know. It's just I remember everyone going nuts for Rise when it came out, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And yes, Andy Serkis is great, and motion capture of Caesar's fine, and it's really good. But I mean, I've also
Well, I
read
just
reviews
like
for
the
this
retelling in. We've talked about this before. There's a big problem now where like they're remaking great movies from 70s, 80s, that aren't holding up as well.
No.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see the new RoboCop. I know you saw it. You said it was
No, I
fucking
did not see
oh,
it.
you
I
didn't
did
see-
not.
You saw
I
it.
Blu-ray copy.
I
That movie was
refuse to
terrible.
watch
And
it because
he saw
RoboCop is
Yeah, I saw-
probably it's
Total
probably my
Recall.
favorite film, but it's the defining film of the '80s in my opinion. Total Recall,
It's terrible.
brilliant
Yeah.
film. The
And
remake
the
is
original,
terrible.
the original,
Remake's
not
terrible.
the remake.
Yeah.
We're talking about the remake.
I
that's why
saw
say
I
it's
saw the RoboCop movie. I bootlegged it, and it was just awful.
But yeah, I mean, like Planet of the Apes, it's a whole, the original Planet of the Apes is a whole nuclear nuclear weapon subtext.
This one's more like
And doing
a
the whole
disease.
thing where it's a disease, and it's like, well, that's okay. I can buy that Caesar's super smart, but why did? And it took him what, maybe 10 years and rise
Of
of
learning,
learning.
yeah.
Well, how do the other apes get super smart
yeah.
instantly at the end? It's like that's not good screenwriting.
They just because it was the new serum.
Yeah,
He had
I
the
mean-
old serum.
Yeah.
This
I
one's
know.
the new one,
Yeah.
Derek. Come
Yeah.
on, it was
all
gas
these remakes
instead.
they make, and they just don't do very good with it.
But
Well, I
mean,
mean,
it's-
it's not that all of them are bad because then you'll have the home run like Dread, because that was fucking amazing.
Dredd
I
was
love
fantastic.
Dread.
Dredd
I
was
only watched
great.
a little bit of it. So far, I haven't seen much.
Dredd
of
was
it.
great. Just Carl Urban for 90 minutes straight going "Ugh," with the
And
helmet
they're-
on. But no, Dredd was fantastic. He never takes the helmet off. He has a constant push
Yeah,
face.
which is what Dredd was in the comics. You
Yeah.
never saw. His
Yeah,
face.
it was more true to the Dread comics than it
And
was.
And that was shot entirely
Yeah,
in
you
3D,
betrayed the
and
law.
that looked great in 3D.
You know, because like the new RoboCop movie, I saw a bootleg that. You know, and it's just
And Gary Oldman couldn't save that either.
how that movie was just put out. Like he.
How anyone could be like, let's remake RoboCop? I would be like,
By the
no.
way, we do not suggest bootlegging movies. We suggest paying for them like good citizens, Nick.
Yes, that's why I buy Criterion DVDs and Blu-rays.
That's
which cost
why
$50.
I buy the special editions. Whatever like masterpiece edition they're gonna come out with Godzilla, you know I'm gonna get that.
Oh, if it's Godzilla, yeah. But if it's something crappy like that, no.
Oh yeah, apparently on the Conquest of the Planet of the Apes Blu-ray, it has the original cut on there,
Oh, God.
without the tacked-on ending. Which I'm deep down inside, I hope that Dawn of the Planet of the Apes has the same cheesy, hokey cop-out ending of Conquest.
Yes and no. Yes and
Now
no.
we put our weapons down, and we will live in peace. And even though for the past 90 minutes this has been about rioting, we will not riot. Yay! The end.
Well, I mean, judging by the trailers, and this is just my guess before I see it, because he has that whole scene where like he has like basically you have Gary Oldman, who's I guess going to be the bad human in this one, and then you have the other guy, name I forget.
Jason Clarke.
Jason
Who
Clarke.
was very good in
Who's-
Zero Dark 30.
Yes. Who's supposed to be like the I guess the bridge between like Caesar, him and Caesar are the bridge between the humans and the apes on how like they're gonna try to work in peace, and he has that whole the whole scene where he says like when he's talking about peace and Caesar says like peace is no longer an option. I feel like that might be the answer to the end of the Conquest, where instead of saying we're gonna put our guns down, he's just gonna be like peace isn't an option, bro. Sorry.
Well, no. Have you seen the original ending?
Yes.
Of Conquest? The original is they beat the guy to death, and there's no speech about putting their weapons down. They
It
just
should
beat
have been the
They
real
beat the
ending.
guy to death, and it's over, and that's just what it was. But the families complain, so that's why if
Oh,
you
no.
watch Conquest, it's all tight close-ups of Roddy McDowell's face. And then you can't see the mouth because he's not saying it. It's just, and it's in a different tone. And it's like, oh, we'll put it down. We're okay
Can you
now.
imagine how much work that had to be though to reshoot that whole scene? It was like you were telling me about how Predator, that wasn't the original Predator
I
the
still
other
can't
day.
believe you
Like
didn't know
that,
that.
they had to,
Everybody knows that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the original Predator is.
It was like a bug creature. And then he saw it. Oh, he showed me, and I was just like, "That's fucking hilarious."
And it
Like,
was
I'm
John
glad-
Claude Van Damme.
And that how they shot like
Yeah, the
everything
original
in a
Predator.
soundstage.
The original Predator, it was John Claude Van Damme.
It was
And
the
if you watch
muscles from
Predators, which is
Brussels.
basically a remake of Predator,
Yeah.
because it played the same soundtrack and said the same stupid line that
Hey,
Schwarzenegger
it was
did.
better than Predator 2.
You didn't like Adrian Brody's gigantic?
No, he's just the Christian
nose?
Bale.
What?
guy.
You didn't like Predator 2? I just realized you said that.
Predator 2 is not a good movie.
Oh, come on! Danny Glover! Come on!
It's not that good, but I would
No, it's
watch
not
it.
as good as the first one. and
I would
always admit that.
watch it over Predators, but yeah. But
I don't know.
Predators-
Gary Busey. Guess who's back? And then he gets sliced in half, and his legs fall down, but his torso floats in midair.
I remember that scene.
Oh God.
Oh, I remember that scene. He's like,
And
yeah.
of course you have the alien skull from
Well, that's
Alien
what led us
on the
to
trophy, and that
AVP.
led to bad AVP movies.
Oh, come on, Requiem. Was
Requiem
a
is
good
better,
B movie.
is
They're
better,
both terrible.
but they're both
so-
bad.
Yes,
They
They're
are
no,
both bad.
no. But it does what it's supposed to. I wasn't expecting an Oscar-winning storyline from AVP. I just wanted to see aliens fight predators, and that's what I got, and that's why I was satisfied.
But
with
I
it.
mean, it's good. But I mean, like, I like the nod in Alien vs Predator, where on the TV is Frankenstein versus
versus
Wolfman.
the Wolfman.
But I'd rather watch Frankenstein versus
Versus
the
the
Wolfman.
Wolfman.
That's a better movie, and even that schlock, that's a bad movie. But I'd rather watch that.
I was
The
like-
first AVP was terrible with the
Yeah.
whole pyramid thing and fucking everything
Yeah.
else that happened.
Apparently the aliens were like
And
Like
enemies of the-
slaves to the predators.
No,
and-
they were like enemies of the predators. They were like
They
arch
hunted
enemies.
them, and the Mayans worshipped the predators, which was cool. But I mean,
So,
not,
you know,
not
aliens
that I'm
come
trying
from
to defend
LV
the movie
426.
at all.
You better
Come off of different planets.
Oh, what, Prometheus? No.
No, we're not going to talk about Prometheus. I hate Prometheus,
Prometheus is a
just
very bad
because of the
movie.
end scene.
Prometheus is a bad movie, and as I've told everyone that I know, at the end of Prometheus, from that day forth, I declared Ridley Scott to be an outlaw! It just...
He's banished from the kingdom. That's
Ridley's-
what it is. He's banished.
And the trailers came out for his next movie, Ridley Scott. Exodus, Gods and Kings was going to be another retelling of the Ten Commandments with Christian Bale as Moses and Joel Edgerton as Ramses.
That's gonna
Who
be
looks
great.
really weird in the makeup, but it's like, okay, Ridley Scott's going back to an epic sort of film again, alright, but I mean, Robin Hood wasn't good, Prometheus
Oh, no,
was
Robin
not.
Hood was
Prometheus was just a joke. Like, why was it? All it had to be was the prequel to Alien, and it failed on every level of being
No, I
that.
didn't even want it to be a prequel of Alien. I wanted Ridley Scott to do something new. I wanted it to stay away from the Alien series. I want Aliens to be done.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's my
the
problem with
The
it.
last great Ridley Scott film is Kingdom of Heaven.
You're just like
Director's
diluting
cut.
the water the more they make. Like the more Aliens movies they make, the more it just gets like
That's
worse.
why we get Aliens Colonial Marines
Oh.
and soon to get Alien Isolation, which I will not buy nor
Which
play.
you're supposed to play as
Ripley's daughter.
Ripley's daughter who died.
Well, this is before she died.
Oh, yeah.
But remember, Ripley only has a daughter in the special edition of Aliens, which is the superior version of Aliens. But
Yeah. Which is actually like one of the only sequel movies that actually is better than the first movie. Aliens. Let's see, Aliens.
Yeah,
Terminator
Aliens.
2. Terminator 2 was better than the first one. I
Toy
thought.
Story 2.
Yeah. Actually, all
Toy
three.
Story 2 is the best Toy Story
Actually,
film.
I liked all three, but I had no iffy and
All
buts
Toy
about it.
Story group movies are great, and 3 is spectacular, but 2 is the masterpiece. 2
Like that's
is
the only
best.
movie that had all good sequels. Other than that,
I like
Aliens.
Wolf.
Toy
Aliens.
Story 2 is the
The
godfather
Alien
of animated
trilogy
films.
ended after Aliens. Alien 3 does not count.
Alien, well, no.
I didn't like Aliens 3. I liked Aliens 4. Resurrection was good.
Get out.
No.
Get
It
out.
wasn't
Get out.
amazing, and 2 is still
No.
the staple
No.
of the
Joss
Alien
Whedon
series.
apologized for Alien Resurrection, so
And
that's
the
all you
ending,
need to
the
know.
whole ending with the half human, half alien was terrible. But if you compare Aliens 3 to Aliens 4, Aliens 4 is the superior film.
Alien 3 was directed by David Fincher, so by default, well, what was, it was never...
And plus,
But,
there was like a.
yes, I feel
there
like if
was-
they had to cut off the series, 2 should have been.
There was, like,
it should have been
multiple-
2 done, nothing.
Well, there's like multiple scripts that were going on to write, and they had
Yeah.
downfall with just that one.
Yeah.
Alien Resurrection was just let's just
No,
have
let's
Resurrection
just
and
cash
like
in.
every other movie in the.
But no, if you
Series of
have
movies.
the quadrilogy set, they have the work print version of Alien 3, which is I guess you'd say the closest thing to a director's cut. It's superior and much better and makes the film watchable, but it's still bad. But I like that in the work print version when Ripley jumps off and kills herself, the alien doesn't burst out of her chest. So there are things that are not stupid.
Because they got blood DNA in Resurrection. They got blood DNA apparently from Ripley, she fell in lava.
Well, yeah,
well,
then the
they
4,
got
she's
it
like a clone or
from
something.
Charles Dance taking blood samples from her. That's the explanation for it. Before
Yeah,
Charles Dance
Resurrection.
got killed.
Resurrection.
The only good
Resurrection
character
is
in
bad.
that. Right, yeah.
3 is bad. They're both bad.
Yeah.
All I was saying is that 4
She
was
shoots
better
a
than
basketball no looking or whatever.
Ron
All
Hellboy
horrible.
is in the movie.
And she says some line like, who they gotta fuck.
Ron Perlman.
Just
says-
because Ron Perlman's in it doesn't mean it's
She
good.
says some line like,
I'm just so biased for Ron Perlman. Like, I feel like everything he does is just, he poops gold to me. Like, I love Ron Perlman so much.
No.
Yes.
She had one of the lines she says,
He
who
was
they
in
gotta
Star
fuck
Trek
to get
Nemesis.
around
That
here.
movie sucked.
God.
That movie killed Star Trek Nemesis. That's why J.J. Abrams had to do
Oh,
Star
perfect.
Trek
Which
and
guy
he
you talking
saved
about?
it. Yes,
Which guy you talking
Star Trek Nemesis.
No, this guy like Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman
Ron
was,
the guy who was Hellboy. He was in.
He was
yeah,
he
the
was
guy who
the
had the
goblin-looking guy who was Tom Hardy's second.
Yeah,
in
he
command.
had the stupid.
I'm amazed Tom Hardy has
Resurrection
a
had the
career.
stupid.
Amazing.
Yeah, the suit canister that shot missiles or whatever the fuck it was.
Tom Hardy, I
yeah.
hope he does not acknowledge that
He's
in
a
Star Trek
hit and
Nemesis.
miss
He
with
should
me.
not.
So, after all that, all I wanted to talk about is how I'm excited for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
No one here is excited for it.
I'm
You know-
excited, and it's all that matters. I'm the king. I rule. I will force the entire kingdom
You
to
thought
watch
Alien
that
Resurrection
movie.
was good. You don't.
I
Count
just
anymore.
said it was
You
better
don't
than
count
3.
anymore.
2
Yeah,
is
that's
still
what
the
I'm saying,
staple.
No,
I will not
I would
be
prefer 3 to Resurrection.
Mute. I will not be mute.
3 has
in my
British
own
people
kingdom.
on it.
Yes, British people.
Ripley!
Well, I did like the dog.
And then there's Terminator 3 and Salvation.
Well, see, in the work print, it's an ox.
Whoa.
I like.
I understand-
Salvation. I hated Salvation.
I
so.
understand Terminator 3. That's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
How do you not like Salvation?
Salvation's
I
a
never
good
liked
movie.
Salvation.
It was a great
Salvation,
movie.
it's
It's
not
just
great.
Chris, it's
Salvation
just
is
Batman.
good.
The
Salvation
apocalypse
is much
I was
better
so
than
excited
it had
that
any right
he was
to
signed on to a 5 and a 6 of Terminator. Well, I mean, 2 other Salvation type movies, and then they canned them. I was so mad when they canned them.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more, but I mean, I enjoyed Salvation. I really enjoyed.
I wanted to see
Anton
Future
Yelchin
War.
as
And now they're
Kyle
rebooting
Reese,
Terminator.
Sam Worthington was good in it. I mean, much as people complain about Avatar, I think that Sam
I don't know. I
Worthington
like.
was
They're
really
making a
good
sequel,
in-
which I have no idea what
They're making Avatar 2, 3, and 4, I believe.
Oh, God. And
Was
the
Ja- was
Avatar
James-
Land in Disney. Ooh.
If
James
it ever
Cameron.
opens.
It's
No,
James
it will
Cameron.
open. They've
It
begun
will.
construction.
I don't know. I think it'll be pretty good. I like the first one, so.
So besides
Avatar
that,
was amazing.
Lucy, I'm excited to see that.
You
I'm
need to
excited to see
that.
it.
I'll see it. I mean,
And then after that is Guardians.
I'll
which
see that.
is amazing. I already media blacked out it. Like I stopped watching all the trailers because they started giving away too much. After
I
they,
am Groot.
yeah, after they gave away Groot's one line ever, like. But I'll still see it. It's gonna be great. I think I have 100% faith.
Hot
in that movie.
Toys, make a Hot Toys collector's doll of Genevieve Talir. I will buy it.
Make them all. Make them all.
Oh well, yeah, they have to make all the Guardians, but I will only buy Rocket and Genevieve.
Yeah, they
Talir.
gotta-
I'll play Rocket and Groot just because you have to have Groot with Rocket. Come on, he's his
Okay.
bodyguard.
It's just.
I want a button too. On the back
It's
of
just
Groot that
Guardians
just
of the
says,
Galaxy.
I am Groot. Yeah, it's just
They-
the comic.
they do that.
Guardians of
I
the Galaxy and
haven't-
Expendables were
I
my two
haven't
favorite movies I watched
received
now.
it yet, but I did buy it. The Hot Toys RoboCop, which comes with the chair.
The
and
new
it-
one or the old
No,
one?
it's the original
Okay,
'87
okay.
RoboCop, and he
Yeah,
comes
talking
with the
about
chair.
ejected.
Nah,
When
the
you
new
when you
RoboCop
arrest,
doesn't
you will
count.
sit in the chair. Yes, I understand. He comes with the chair. You can set him up sleeping in the chair, but he has a voice chip in him, and he does say, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me."
Yes, instead of.
That's cool.
I
So
hated
Hot
it.
Toys can do
It
it.
was about.
RoboCop does not exist. The remake of this.
You want to play Xbox? dude?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to touch it.
That
Go
was
back in
the
there.
thing I hated about that movie was like.
Just so you guys know, if no one heard that, Derek accidentally turned my Xbox on.
The
Xbox on.
Detroit-
But then I was
the-
stretching.
The
and it's
Detroit,
just like-
Detroit
It's
was
the damn
made,
touch button.
Detroit was made to look like it was post-apocalyptic. Like Detroit went through years of like being contained.
What, it went through Dawn of the Planet of the Apes
Yeah.
round?
Escape from New York.
Basically, you did.
Escape from Detroit.
Like all,
So-
like the original RoboCop
Escape
plan was
from
because
LA,
it was
Acid
supposed
Rain?
to,
No.
it was supposed to stop the corruption in Detroit, and that's why they built RoboCop. This one is
Yeah.
just, Detroit went through hell, and we just blocked them off from
And
us.
drone warfare or something that we're trying
They
to
tried to make it
right.
politically correct.
They
That's
tried
like
to
the
make
whole
it
thing.
updated when you can't because RoboCop.
Oh yeah, and
RoboCop is something that is
he still had
only
some of his body left. He still
from
had,
the 80s.
he had his
Well, that was the
From
joke in
80s.
the first one when they made him. They're like, "Hey, we saved his arm," and they're like, "No, just throw it away." And this one, they kept his arm.
They kept
Yeah.
his hands, and they had like if you took his body plate off, it had his chest.
And not only that,
You
the
can't escape
visor
from these
flipping
bad
up
remake
is not
movies.
the makeup design of basically like a slab of skin on a robot. Is
and
really
then
cool.
the ending, the pistols weren't the same. They were like Uzis. They weren't the pistol from the.
Well, yeah.
And then the ending when he couldn't arrest the head guy because of his directive 4 wouldn't let him arrest anybody in the OCP.
Dick, you're fired!
Yeah, and then when that happened, he shot him. And this one, he's just like, all right, I'm gonna override it and then shoot him anyway.
Oh, stupid. That's
He
terrible.
overwrites his system and just shoots him
The
anyway.
more people talk about the movie, the more it makes me not want to see it. Like, it just
Don't see
continues
it.
on, and I'm just like, I don't.
It was. I saw Total Recall. My dad watched it. Me and
I saw it for free. I saw it in a movie theater with a free
Yeah.
ticket. I didn't bootleg it,
Unlike
but
some people.
no,
I didn't bootleg it either.
I
It was
was,
on
when it
HBO.
was over, I was like, thank God I didn't pay for it.
It was
What
on
you
HBO.
explained to me, like between this Total Recall and the original, is like why I don't like this new one. Is like what you said. In the new one, you can claim that everything was the dream,
There's-
everything was the vacation, and in this
No,
one,
in the new one, it's very clear that this is really happening. I think the unrated director's cut at the end tries to imply that maybe it didn't happen, but the remake, the Colin Farrell one, is clearly this is actually happening. You never get the sense that it's a fantasy. I love the Schwarzenegger one, which is directed by Verhoeven, who made RoboCop. So hey, but no, I love that one
Verhoeven.
because you can watch it. Like 10 years ago, when I was younger, when I watched it, I thought it was all real. I watch it now and I think it's his vacation, because when he goes to recall and they tell him on the computer screens this is what he's going to experience, they show him a picture of the Martian generator, the machine from the end of the film. So you could say that everything that happens is his vacation, or you can believe the guy coming into his room is saying that I'm not actually here,
Wow.
you're at recall, and you're having a
Yeah.
nervous breakdown. That could be actually happening as well. But I like to think now that it's all his vacation. And in fact, on the soundtrack, Jerry Goldsmith, who did the music for the movie, the last title of the last piece of music is called End of Dream. So Jerry Goldsmith, I guess, thinks it's not real either.
He's just
So-
like, nope, this is
So-
my ending for the version.
Yeah, so.
For a movie like that, very bloody and very good.
It is an ambiguous movie. It is a movie that can go
Can go
either
either
way.
way. It's like
Yeah.
what people talk about at the end of Inception, where they're like, he could still be in a dream.
Yeah.
But
Or
he's
the,
not.
what's
No,
the
he's
top?
not.
He's not.
Or, you know, Blade Runner. You know, oh, Deckard's a replicant.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He is a human being. Blade Runner does not make any sense if Deckard is a replicant, but everyone likes to think that.
Did you get that trailer I sent you for the movie Birdman?
I did not watch it yet.
Why? Okay, well, first off, basically it's about, when I read the description on IMDb, it said, former actor, or voice actor Birdman, like, is trying to come back to his, roots, like, he's trying to get back into acting through Broadway, but he still has, like, a problem with, like, how he used to be, like, a famous thing. When I read that, I thought of Harvey Birdman. I was like, this is
I
a movie
saw
about
that you thought it
Harvey
was Harvey
Birdman.
Birdman.
And I was like, this is fucking awesome. It's not about Harvey Birdman. It's just a made-up character. And I
Of
got
course.
so excited. I wanted more Harvey Birdman, because, like, that is a classic that I love. Anything Harvey Birdman, even Attorney at Law. But
I
definitely
remember
check that
the
trailer
Harvey
out.
Birdman attorney at law where he was defending Johnny Quest, I think.
Oh, God. I love them
and
all.
they called the lizard men to the stand.
Lizard Man, like, state your name.
First name, last name, and occupation. Lizard man, and lizard man.
That is great. But I miss Harvey Birdman or Attorney at Law so much. But that's a whole nother topic. So after Guardians, Expendables, we all know how Expendables is gonna be. It's
Yeah.
gonna be the other two Expendables movies.
Oh,
it's gonna be
no more after it though.
Yeah.
Just
With-
this should be the last
yeah.
one.
With Simon Phoenix.
Simon Phoenix. No, yeah, and Conrad Stonebanks. No, I mean I really enjoyed Expendables 1. I loved Expendables 2. Expendables 2 is probably the most fun I had in movie theater in like years when I saw it. So I'm
Chuck
expecting the
Norris
same for
made a
3.
Chuck Norris joke.
He made a Chuck Norris joke. Oh my god. The
The
Van
classic-
Damme was incredible.
The classic
as
beatdown between
Jean
Van
Blanc.
Damme and Stallone.
The fight was great.
My
The fight was
favorite
great.
part has to be with where Arnold Schwarzenegger goes. He's like, "I'll be back," and Bruce.
You've
Willis
been
is
back
like,
enough.
"You've been back
I'll be
enough.
back.
The
Oh
thing
yeah.
that sucks is like
and
he's
then
like,
Arnold, the yippee ki
The
No,
Bruce
I know
Willis
what you're
won't be in the
saying.
next one,
Because
yeah.
he's too greedy.
Yeah, he's
Fucking-
too
he
greedy.
wanted like
But you know what? I'm okay
He wanted.
with it.
He wanted like what, $2 million?
He wanted
Like
$8 million
yeah,
for
for
5
5
days.
days of shooting. which is
I mean,
ridiculous.
I'm okay with it because
Not that we don't like Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
He's still amazing.
he is John McClane, even though Good Day to Die Hard was bad. No, the
It's terrible.
Yeah, but no, the storyline of the first Expendables was, the church, oh, if you take this money from me, I'm gonna hunt you down. Well, he does come after him in the second one, like, oh, you're gonna pay me back. Well, they do pay him back, so they have kind of completed that story arc. So so there is no story purpose for Bruce Willis's character to return. So it's not like it's terrible that he's not in it.
No.
No. Well, they got back with Harrison Ford.
Ford, so that's
put Mel Gibson in it, and that's cool.
And you got El Mariachi in it now.
They put Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
What's his name?
But Sniper. And Wesley Snipes.
Phoenix.
Say about the bell.
But
I lose my head if it wasn't attached. No, I'll keep that in mind. I haven't seen Demolition Man forever.
Oh, it's one of his best
after
movies.
Expendables, what comes out later this year? I know Interstellar comes about, but
Yeah, interstellar travel.
well, those are too far.
I don't
away to
know
even
what
talk
else.
About.
I can't think of anything else.
Gone Girl, Interstellar, and then of course The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies, which I will see in 48 frames per second, super video game, high frame rate, 3D.
I will see that.
I
will
probably won't.
You don't like Lord. Talk about not liking stuff. I can't say that Aliens 4 is better than Aliens 3. He does not like any of the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit movies.
I just couldn't sit through them. Sorry.
Just get through the first one. Okay, the beginning is a little bit boring, but
Alright,
it has its reasons.
Here's my thoughts on the Lord of the
It's
Rings
not boring to me.
trilogy. Don't watch Return of the King. Don't watch Fellowship. Just watch Two Towers. I love the Two Towers. No, I like Lord of the Rings. I do like Fellowship, and I do like Return of the King. Return of the King is very long, and I only watch the extended cuts. I only count them as the films. But Two Towers is where it's at. Two Towers is awesome.
probably
Two Towers
my
is
favorite.
probably my
Although I
favorite
kinda
Peter
like
Jackson
Fellowship a little
film
bit more, but-
ever. Love the first Hobbit. Love the extended cut of the first Hobbit. Love Smaug. I cannot wait for the extended cut. It's gonna be great.
I can't. Fucking Smaug is what made 2 for me. Not that Smaug,
Smaug.
whatever you want to call it.
Smaug.
I did not have the Smaug burger at Denny's. I should have.
Now, baby.
But he is what made the film.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Thank you. I can't say his name right now.
Benedict
Sherlock and
Arnold.
Watson, basically.
Yes.
No, he was what made the film. Not saying that any of the actors were bad or anything, but I just felt like 2 was more of 1, where they're just like on the journey. Not
Yeah.
that the Hobbit movies are supposed to be the journey, not the war. The war doesn't come until this new one,
Yeah.
which is good. But like, I fell asleep the first time I watched 2 at the Smaug scene because I saw it at midnight. So by that time it was
okay.
like 3 in the morning, and I was like,
I
fell
saw
asleep.
it at 10.
And then I woke up just as you have Ed Sheeran going, "Oh, Miss Diaz," what the hell happened? And my friend's like, "You just missed everything." I went back the next day, and watched it, and I was so glad I did. It was so fucking awesome.
I mean, I think it was the running time like 2 hours and 40 minutes for Smaug.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the extended cut's gonna be, but I mean, it felt like 5 minutes. It was.
I know.
It was so well paced that you were so into it, and when it ended, I remember going, "Oh my god, that's where it's ending right
Like,
there!
no!
I gotta wait a year."
Just the perfect "I am fire, I am death," and that's
what
it.
have we done? Get the hell out! No, I mean it.
He's just like, you know what? And roll credits, done. That's it. That's my movie.
But like, I don't know which one I like better.
But my only thing is, okay, so I'm assuming you've read the Hobbit book, obviously.
Years ago.
But
so
you know the Smaug scenes.
yeah.
How much is he going to be in this new movie? Because what does he have left? Is
Well,
he
I'm
just
wondering,
going to
is
be
he
like the first hour?
Is Bard just gonna immediately, woo, he's dead, and
Yeah,
that's
honestly,
over?
is it just going to be the first hour? I want more of Smaug. He is the staple of these Hobbit movies. So if he dies in the first hour, I'm like, I got to watch another 2 without Smaug. It's not going to compare to that one.
I don't know.
Hopefully,
I mean, Bilbo has the Arkenstone, so.
I mean, maybe
So,
like, oh yeah.
We'll wait for Thorin.
I was gonna say, like, maybe, Peter Jackson will shoehorn the story to be like, Smaug's like, I'll help the bad guys, and then he'll be in, like, the whole movie, and then,
I don't know.
We just
I just don't see how it was filmed as 2 movies, though. Because it was apparently originally 2 movies, but
No, I can't.
I don't see.
You can't, like, you'll just have I am fire, I am death, and what is the cutaway to the next scene? Like,
Yeah.
you'll be like, this is really weird. It feels like just another opening. But that's enough about movies for now. I think we've discussed everything that we've seen this year, came out this year, shit that came out in the 80s.
We didn't talk about X-Men, but we saw it and it existed. But
X-Men
that's all you can say.
Not
about
the last
It
stand.
existed.
Well, the last
did
stand
the other
existed.
did the other movies exist? We don't know
Not
anymore.
Not anymore.
That's what I love when if everyone's like, I haven't seen this new one, Days of Future Past. I was like, but did you see the other ones? They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically what you tell them now.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Days of Future Past exists. That's all we're really gonna say about that. Okay, so let's move on from movies because we've been talking about that since forever, since this podcast began. We've talked about all the movies that came out. We've talked about just fucking movies from the 80s, our opinions, remakes. We've got all that out of our system. Let's talk about something we've all done actually. We all got to go to Diagon. If anyone doesn't know, we all are from Orlando. We are many theme park buffs, especially Derek over here, going to across the worlds, across the oceans to go to other parks. You've been to Tokyo Disney,
Disneyland Paris, Disneyland, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Busch Gardens, Virginia.
You've been everywhere. You're like a theme park.
I haven't been
you're
to
a theme
Hong
park
Kong yet.
connoisseur.
I have not been to Hong Kong yet. I will go eventually when the Iron Man experience opens, and then Shanghai Disney is gonna open soon.
with their Avengers thing. But
No, Paris is getting it.
oh, Paris is.
Shanghai, no one knows what Shanghai's getting, but I'll go to Shanghai to
That's where
complete-
Avatar's going. That's it.
No,
Just that.
Animal Kingdom when we discover unobtainium.
But no. So Diagon Alley.
Yes, the new Harry Potter area.
The new Harry
May Jaws
Potter
rest
and
in
the.
peace.
I miss Jaws so much. I miss Jaws.
He's still in Osaka. If you go to Universal Studios in
fly all the way to
Osaka,
Osaka.
if you go to
ride
Universal
like a
Studios in
10-minute
Osaka, you
ride.
can go on Jaws and Back to the Future. It's still there.
Oh, that actually sounds worth it because I also miss Back to the
And
Future.
Jurassic Park ride in
I'm-
California is way better.
Yes.
I have nothing
That's
against The
where it is,
Simpsons
right?
at all, and I like the TV show, but I loved Back to the Future, and I'm so sad.
I actually
when they
like
did
the Simpsons ride. It's
that. It's alright.
The Simpsons ride to me is an okay replacement for Back to the Future. It's not like when the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera closed and they
Oh,
replaced it with
God.
the Jimmy Neutron ride, and it was like, how is this?
You're
Dude?
like
How
making
is
me
this?
feel old now. 'Cause I
Yeah,
remember all
and
this.
now they have Despicable Me in place of Jimmy Neutron. Despicable
is
Me
good.
is really, really good. It's a very good ride. And it's,
It was a Nickelodeon cartoon that didn't go well with Jimmy Neutron, so.
the Neutron just wasn't. A
Well,
good
their
ride.
storylines are basically always the same with the Hanna-Barbera, Jimmy Neutron, and
Yeah.
Despicable.
It
I
was
mean,
kind of same thing, but
Nickelodeon, especially, like that was just Hanna-Barbera into Nickelodeon characters. Like there was almost zero difference in like the storyline of that ride. This one's more fitted to Despicable Me now. But Diagon Alley. So
yes, 4 years after the Wizarding World of Harry Potter opened in Islands of Adventure, we have now opened Diagon Alley.
Diagon, Horizon,
and
Nocturne.
Nocturne.
All of those alleys.
And
are
Diagon
there.
Alley.
Diagon Alley.
Yes.
So I know that they have just the two rides. Well, technically, there's only one in Diagon. It's Harry Potter
And the Escape from
and Escape from Gringotts. But now you have the Hogwarts Express
Connecting the park.
connecting the parks, which we'll talk about that
Pretty
first.
spectacular.
I was totally over when how do I say this? When the train was like coming and I heard about it, I didn't like it. I was like this is gonna be a stupid train ride or whatever. I was blown away by it. Like I thought it was great. The train.
Yeah, the Hogwarts
More
Express,
going from
yeah.
Hogsmeade to London than London to Hogsmeade. I feel like going from London to Hogsmeade, like too much stuff is going on. First you have the Dementors, then you have the other thing, then you go by Malfoy's Manor, and like the Death Eater crows are there, and then like you have you're flying with Hagrid, and it's just like so much was going on.
Yeah, I enjoy the ride from Hogsmeade to London better because you get Mad-Eye Moody in there.
yeah,
And Mad-Eye Moody sighting, and you get Voldemort. He
Yeah,
comes
for
out the
2
name
seconds.
for 2 seconds.
it was 2 seconds of awesomeness.
It's
Yeah.
2
He's
seconds.
shooting lightning in
Yeah,
there.
if only the goes when he appears. But I mean, you get that. You get Fred and George, and with the fireworks to go visit their shop.
That's cool.
And you get Buckbeak, and you get John Williams music, which is really good. I mean,
Yeah.
basically like everything's John Williams music.
The
so.
only problem that will come from that is the voice actress for Hermione Granger. Now, Because they got Ron's the real voice actor, is right?
Ron is Ron.
Ron
In
is
fact,
Ron.
I forget which trip you go up, but Ron presses his face
Yeah,
up against
that's
the
from
glass.
Hogsmeade to London.
The glass of your
And that's when
train
like,
bar,
there's a bunch of
and
first
it is Ron. It is Ron.
And
Weasley.
then the guy who is doing the Harry Potter impersonation does a pretty good job.
I've heard that it's a combination of like clips of Daniel Radcliffe's voice and also some voice actor doing the voice. But yes, Hermione, the longer she talks, it does not. If you are a fan of Harry Potter, you will know that it is not Hermione
It's not
talking.
in any way good at all. It was the worst part about that. It's just a terrible British accent.
Yes.
It was a German accent. Well, it sounded like it.
No, the train was
Oh.
cool. I was blown away by the train itself. The only thing I didn't like, and this has nothing to do with the train ride itself, is the walking through the wall for the
The
platform.
walking
9.
through the wall effect, I mean,
Basically,
How-
for
how-
people who don't know what it is if you're in the line to go from London to Hogsmeade and you're going through the queue or whatever
of King's Cross
of
Station.
King's Cross Station, the part where you're supposed to go through the wall to get to platform 9 3/4, doing it, you're just going through like a doorway with no door. That's all it is. But there's, from people who are like behind you in line, there's a screen where it shows a door, like it shows the wall there. So to them, it kind of it looks like you're walking
No,
through the wall.
It's not a screen, it's a mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to ruin people's lives, but it's the same effect of how the ghosts are dancing in the ballroom of the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
It's the light and mirror reflection gag. But I mean, it's cool how they do it. But
It's
I
cool
mean,
looking through the mirror.
Yes, but
doing
I
it
mean,
yourself. You're just walking
yeah,
through
I
a
mean,
doorway.
I didn't really expect that we were going to actually.
Well,
physically
no, I
go
don't know
through
how they would
walls.
do that besides like putting like a sheet there, and you're like, whoa! Like,
Yeah.
I mean, really, how could they have done it? It's-
Or if some people actually ran into the wall.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would
Well,
be cool.
you
if
gotta
closed
like
at
time
some
it
time.
right to run and stop, so it will look to the people behind you like you're hitting the wall. So
It's cool though. I was blown away by the train.
the Hogwarts is very good. It is very good.
From what you rode the Green Gods, and you said that was.
You're the only one here who rode Gringotts. You waited in that freaking 4-hour line.
It's okay. Yes. No
I wasn't
ride.
gonna wait. You
No
were the only one
ride.
who
No
decided to
ride
wait.
is worth a 4-hour wait. I will just say that. No ride is worth a 4-hour wait. No ride is worth an 8-hour wait.
That's when it opened. It was 8 hours. Yeah.
Yes. Nothing is worth that. But yes, I have gone on Gringotts. I have gone on Harry Potter: The Escape from Gringotts. It is a masterpiece attraction. It is better than Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. It is so much better than Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. It's amazing how much better it is. It's incredible, and in my opinion, there's the holy trinity of theme park attractions. It's Indiana Jones Adventure from Disneyland, which is my all-time favorite theme park ride. Journey to the Center of the Earth from Tokyo Disney Sea, and now Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts.
It's that good.
It is that good. It
Wow.
is
I can't wait to
spectacular.
ride it whenever I get time to do
Next
that.
year.
Yeah,
And,
like
like,
2 years from now, 3 years
It
from
didn't.
now. down the
It did
line,
not go down when I rode it, so that there was no.
It won't go down. It will be. It'll be.
It
That
did
line,
not break. So
That line will be
That's always good.
long forever. For a
It's gonna be
while.
able there for a while. That's just gonna be like the Hogsmeade. Like I just remember like all the other stories of people I knew who went there. They were like, oh, we waited 4 hours to go in there, and I'm like, why? Like, why would you do that? And then like a year later, everyone was just telling me like, hey, it's died down now. Like you should go. I'm gonna do
the
that.
first
this
time I went on Forbidden Journey, I believe it said like an 80-minute wait on the wait time sign, but I only waited 40 minutes. So
They just do that to scare people away. They're like, go.
I don't know. Well, as I've thought that the real reason the Forbidden Journey line is so long is because people stop and take pictures.
Oh, I could believe that.
Yeah.
Because they have some cool
Yeah.
stuff in the castle,
Yeah.
though. It is, like, you can go up there and ask them just for the tour and
Yes.
not the, want to actually ride the ride. But, back to Diagon, I am very impressed on how well spaced out that was. I
Yes.
thought going in there, I was going to be cramped. And I'm like, no, you have a complete room to breathe and everything.
Yeah, I mean, walking through it to when I got on Gringotts, which I did not get on an opening day because I did not try to get on it on opening day because I wanted to stay away from
I
it
didn't wanna
because
go there opening day.
everybody who is rational should try to stay away from it. But
For a while.
going
If you
on
plan a
it,
family vacation to go there, don't.
No.
Not anytime soon.
unless you do stay at a Universal hotel, because I believe they're going to do the same thing that they do with the one
The opening
island,
at, like,
that
an
they'll
hour
open an hour
earlier.
earlier.
Yeah, I
If
guess
you have a
that's
room
what it-
key, you get access to hour. I mean, it's the same thing that it does not have an express line.
Well, the best thing
like
about the
the other one.
Universal hotels, I sound like I'm plugging here, but it's just, even if you stay there, even if you don't do the early thing, you get the fast pass with them too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
there's like
always
the
good.
key card, something like that. The card
Yeah.
they give you get express with that.
Yeah.
And you have to go through the kiosk, which you can't just walk and say,
Better
"Oh
than the
yeah."
Magic bands, but we're not gonna go into that either.
No,
Magic
but
bands.
it's just
No, Diagon Alley is great. I was very impressed, especially because I'm very Harry Pottered out. Like, I am just, like, done with the series. Like, the last movie came out,
11.
2011? So, like, since then, I've just been, like, done. Like, I'm like, alright, I get it. Like, Harry Potter, like, it's not, like, more coming out. But I was completely blown away. The dragon
Oh, yeah.
on top of the roof was great. Nocturne Alley was fantastic. I thought
Yes.
it was so creepy. And I don't know if you guys stayed for the shows, like the shows they do in the middle of the street.
I walked by the Tales of the Three Brothers thing.
That
but I
one was
didn't
great.
watch
The
it.
music one was alright. I mean, it wasn't my kind of music, so that's why I wasn't
You don't
100%
like
into
witches
it.
music?
No, but I did love, yes, the tale of the Three Brothers.
Yeah.
Bartle.
Tales from the Beetle Bar.
Yeah,
But no, as
especially
I
because the puppets looked exactly like they did from the movie. The Grim Reaper looked like the Grim Reaper from the movie.
as I tell everyone, yes, I have been to Tokyo Disney, which I think is the best
Theme
theme
park,
park ever in the
We
world.
all haven't had
But
that
yeah, I'm
experience.
sorry, but
Yeah, damn.
Diagon Alley is the closest thing in the United States that comes to the
To Tokyo
intimate,
Disney.
to the intimacy, to the detail, to everything of Tokyo Disney. And yes, if you've been to Hogsmeade, the
I didn't have
original
the ice
Wizarding
cream
World, I've had the butterbeer ice cream. It's good.
I didn't try either one of them.
If
I
you-
just had butterbeer.
If you've been to the original
Which is
Hogsmeade, the
good.
original Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you know that all the shops are very small and the pathways are very small. In Diagon
It's
Alley,
kinda
the
like that.
pathways are 3 times as big. So you can fit a lot more people there, and it is not congested as much.
and for the
Those shops are
Weasleys-
still the same type of size, but walking through there, even with Gringotts with a 4-hour wait, I could still walk through Diagon
you're not
Alley
like
and have no
elbow to
problem.
elbow
No.
in the middle of the
There
street.
was no... There
In the
was,
stores, you kind of are, but I mean,
Yeah.
the stores are just small. That was the one thing. It wasn't really a disappointment, but how the Weasley Brothers stores isn't 2 stories. It's just the one.
well, how...
I
unless
wanted
they-
it 2 stories.
Unless they had an elevator.
Although, what can they really sell there?
Yeah,
just
unless
so
they
you
had
guys
an
know, what
elevator,
they
but-
sell there is they sell rubber chickens, whoopee cushions, just joke stuff like it's supposed to be, and then like some candy.
like the Zonko shop.
Yeah,
in
like,
Islands.
that's honestly all it really is.
honestly wrong. I know.
One cool aspect of this is for the mega super like ultra Harry Potter fans is the interactive wands now. So
Yes.
just what that is basically, people, is you buy a special type of wand and you go to certain places in Diagon, in Hogsmeade as well. I think
Yes.
they implemented it now, and you can actually cast spells. So like the one I know is there's one in front of a water fountain, not a water fountain, just a fountain that has water. You do the spell, and then the fountain
Aguamente.
will shoot water at you. So it's pretty cool, honestly.
Yes.
And then there's one where you can turn lights on, but like
There's
You
one
can,
ring the bells.
the
repair
10-year-old me would think that's fucking
a
awesome.
suit of armor, which is really cool.
You can also buy the live size brooms you want
Oh
to spend.
yeah, now you have.
If
like,
you want
the
to spend
replica
half your
brooms.
salary on one,
They don't
300,
actually
400,
And then
fly.
this 2000 now.
the $300, $400 brooms that don't do
They
anything.
also have the
$400
like
robes.
$1,000 like chess
Yes.
chess set that's gold plated on all the pieces, and it has all 4 of the houses. So that's cool, I guess.
They don't sell it, but in Borgin and Burke's on the shelf.
No, they do sell it.
No, I was always talking about that, but in Borgin and Burke's on their
Oh.
shelf are shark teeth.
Oh,
For
okay.
Jaws.
Oh yeah, the Jaws shark
That
teeth.
is it.
Well, on outside, one thing that people is you have Diagon, but to get into Diagon, there's a whole like set piece of London. Now you can't enter into any of the stores, but like it just looks like London, and then you go into like this one alley, and it's like the brick wall that opens from the movie, and then boom, you're in Diagon. In one of the stores in London, there's a record
Yes.
that is an homage to Jaws, which is cool. Which I
Yes.
like. And then they also have the 3-story bus.
In
out there too.
Nocturne Alley, there's a window that has a bunch of shrunken heads in the window there, and if you are there lucky enough, you will hear them to start to sing "Show Me the Way to Go Home." So there's another Jaws reference.
That's pretty cool. No, I thought Diagon was great. I was very blown away by it.
Diagon Alley is spectacular. There is not a disappointment. Nothing is disappointing about it. It is a huge success.
Bravo, Universal, you did it again. Like,
Yes,
ooh.
it's really good, and I'm anxious to see how the Wizarding World will be done in Universal Hollywood, which I believe is going to open in 2 years.
And if they decide to add anything else, because everyone's talking now that Diagon's over, or not over, but just open. Like now they're like, what's the next Harry Potter thing they're gonna add? But what can you really add besides you have
The
Hogwarts?
Azkaban Hotel.
No.
That's my joke. But no, I don't know. I don't think they're going to add anything Harry Potter.
I mean,
And if they are 4 years down the road, then
yeah, it's not anytime soon.
Yeah.
They probably have lots of other plans in the works of other.
I mean,
stuff
you can look at things that are in the park that are considered old or out of place, and they could probably be gotten rid of. But I don't think you can just randomly put another Potter area
No.
in either studios or islands. And I'm not sure if Universal has enough property that they own to build a third park. So
No, they couldn't build a whole nother. Well, I mean, they could somewhere else, but it wouldn't be next to
Yeah.
islands and studios. Like, it would be somewhere off the beaten path you'd have to go to.
yeah,
Like a satellite attraction or theme park.
but
But-
just demolish Wet and Wild and turn that into a theme park.
No, we need that.
Yeah, we
Um,
it's Florida, man.
Yeah, we need Wet and Wild. It's
Oh.
Florida.
It rains. You don't need Wet and Wild.
So
In fact,
playing
it's
the-
raining
we talked
right
about-
now while we're doing this.
I know it's still storming, and,
It sort of dimmed down a little bit.
but so that's going on Universal, and then we talked about Disney has
They opened the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, the new Fantasyland.
still haven't even been there. I haven't been to Disney.
I've seen a
forever.
video of it. As I've said, I've been to
No, they
Tokyo,
have
so
their-
Walt Disney World's just sad. Isn't it?
I know, but they to open the new Frozen princesses. You can see
The
them.
Frozen, yeah.
The ones you have to reserve in like 6 months.
Yeah, that's
ahead of
getting
time.
4-hour waits as well.
Yeah.
The Frozen Anna and Elsa meet and greet.
That's beautiful. And then they have Avatar Land coming.
2017,
Never.
I think, is the well, at least when they release the artwork for the boat ride, and that's the thing. I know that the Avatar Land's supposed to have a boat ride and a dark ride, which will be some insane new technology ride or something. I don't know, but I'm more interested in the boat ride.
Honestly.
I mean,
Well, the classics, classic rides sound so much cooler to me for some reason. Like, I still love going on ET these days, and like, if they ever try to take that out, I'd like put up a petition. Like, no, it would be like the Waterworld stunt show in Cali. Like, you can't take it down. I'm sorry. Build it around.
oh, I would have loved if Kong stayed, but no, Confrontation couldn't stay.
Don't I like the Mummy ride? Don't get me wrong, and I like the Mummy movies, not Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, but the first two. And all the Scorpion King movies, they were great.
Oh, especially Scorpion King 3.
Oh, Scorpion King Scorpion King, the fourth one, you know.
Oh,
this
there was a fourth one?
I don't know, I'm just
Oh,
saying. This
God.
time it's personal.
Just keep on going. But no,
One
I
had Billy
like the
Zane
Mummy
in it.
movies. I love the Mummy ride, but I love the King Kong ride a lot more.
Yeah, I miss Confrontation, but I mean, the Mummy, Revenge of the Mummy, whether it's the
Where's our Lord of the
Florida
Rings theme park?
Florida version or the Hollywood version or the Singapore version, all the Revenge of the Mummy rides have bad endings.
No, yeah, it's just kind of like
Orlando is get Brendan Fraser his cup of coffee, and then the mummy attacks him or something. Hollywood is you're in a dark room, and then you just hear the mummy go, no, and then an explosion, and then you hear him laugh, and then it does the music and get out. But the best ending, the best worst ending, is in Singapore, where you go to where, and it's basically a clone of the Orlando ride, so you get to where it would be Brendan Fraser wanting his cup of coffee, but instead it's a box in the middle of the room, and it's shaking. And in whatever language they speak in Singapore, it's the mummy saying, "This box can't hold me."
That's pretty cool. worst of the three, or best of the worst of the three, whatever you want to say. I mean, that's really it. Diagon was great. Anybody else want to bring anything up? Any other topics? Anything
How about them
specific?
Cowboys? Like,
How about those LA Kings? What? Let's talk about the World Cup in this sports-related podcast.
Oh, I was half right. I did pick Germany to be in the final. Except
This is not a
I
sports
picked
podcast.
Germany versus the Dutch. It's Germany versus Argentina, so I'm half right.
Whatever. We aren't a sports podcast. We will never talk about sports.
What an absolute firecracker!
Or politics. Those will never come up in this.
Okay.
Well, I mean, unless someone forcibly brings them up. No, anybody read any interesting comics lately? I'm still reading the current Avengers series, the Avengers Now or whatever, but I'm like so behind. I think they're on like they're in the 20s right now, and I'm still on like 5.
I still need to read through Scarlet Spider-Man, but I'm way behind on that.
No, I mean, if people who know me know my history with comics, I don't read anything current anymore.
Why
Marvel
not?
has betrayed me in DC.
Why?
DC, when they did the reboot, I tried to get into the New 52, and I read issue 1 of Catwoman, which was horrible. Issue 1 of Batman was just it was alright, but I wasn't compelled to continue it. But Marvel, I will not read anything Marvel until one more day is removed from continuity.
It's not gonna happen.
I know.
Now they're doing Original Sin. It's the Watcher died, and they're trying to find his murderer. I haven't read any of it, but I mean, I just know the premise.
I mean, they at least ended Superior Spider-Man, so Peter Parker's back
What?
to being
You
Peter
didn't
Parker.
like Superior
No,
Spider-Man?
stupid, because it was like, Peter and MJ are gonna get back together again, yay! No,
No.
he's dead, now he's Doc Ock or something. And then he comes back to being Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and it's like, oh man, he's gonna get back together with MJ?
She's like, I'm
no,
done.
no, sorry, Peter, I'm with this British guy now. And it's like, oh.
No. And now they're doing the Amazing Spider-Man once again. I don't know what their issue are on. I only read the first 2, but
Well, they restarted.
Electro's
so I guess
back.
issue 1 and 2 and 3, they're doing that again.
they're just gonna keep on doing
Are they
it.
restarting? When did they?
I mean,
restart
I saw the J. Scott Campbell covers for the variant covers for like issue 1.
When are they restarting the Spider-Man 2099? Because I actually like that.
That's
issue.
sometime this month, actually.
Was it?
Are they gonna
Yeah.
restart Doom 2099 as well?
That was
And
terrible.
Punisher 2099. I
That
can't-
was also
2099.
Oh yeah, and the X-Men 2099. Only one good one.
Howard the Duck 2099.
I would love that.
Yes.
Howard the Duck movie was amazing.
Howard the Duck is a very good movie. It is not a bad movie. Anyone who says it's a bad movie did not see it.
Oh, don't know why we didn't talk about this, and I didn't know I had to clap for that, but who's excited for those new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Michael Bay?
It's gonna be better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
I won't watch it.
That's
so-
about all I
Will
can say
you
for
see
it.
it in theaters?
Probably.
Will
No.
you see? No, why not?
I
You have
refuse.
petition
Isn't
the
that
movie?
coming out next week? Or is that coming out in August?
No, it's in August.
Is this August? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Next
seeing
week
it, sorry.
is just The Purge and that new movie with the guy from Scrubs. It's a cancer movie. I don't know.
Okay, well that's good. You know,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
cancer movie. The guy from Scrubs is in it.
I'll see it.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the fucking Turtles movie.
I
Sorry.
can't believe we totally skimmed over.
Another because it's an abomination. That's all it needs to be.
It's an abomination.
It's an abomination.
What's so bad about it? Megan Fox is back, and she's quite amazing. She's a
Well,
great
she-
actress.
She's
Yes,
desperate
no.
for money. No.
She's desperate for money.
Well, like if Michael Bay got her back, and she called Michael Bay pretty much Nazi. That's the only reason why she was fired. That's why she was.
We're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that.
So that's why she was fired. That's why.
If anyone wants to know why Megan Fox is not in Transformers 3, there's a plethora of news articles that they can go look up.
See, when I was in my younger days, when I was, 7 years ago when the first Transformers came out, I didn't see what the big deal was with Megan Fox. Even just being, like a young teenage kid and like, oh, she's pretty. No, there was nothing like, oh man, gotta get that Megan Fox poster and hang it on my wall.
Oh.
It didn't do anything right.
No,
It has nothing to do with Scarlett Johansson
It looked
behind
like-
you. I'm just saying that Scarlett Johansson is very pretty. She
I love
is. I
Scarlett
can
Johansson.
say that. I can admit that Scarlett Johansson is
Okay,
very
wait,
pretty.
wait,
I'm just
just-
saying that Megan Fox, to me, was like, I didn't see what everyone was going nuts about.
Just so everyone knows, I love Scarlett Johansson, the actress, and I love Black Widow, the character. So when she became Black Widow, I was just completely like ecstatic. So I was very
But this
happy
Turtles
about that.
movie, no, they look like aliens, and I'm
They are
See,
aliens.
When
It's
I was
crazy.
much
No.
younger, much younger, I am one of the few people, maybe not few people, but I'm a person who can actually say that they saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live in concert coming out of their Shells tour. I was interviewed as a young kid by April O'Neil, so to know that Megan Fox is playing April O'Neil is just, oh.
Because
She's
they're,
not even a redhead, though.
they're copying
I know.
that show as well.
Yeah, the newer,
Because they're all like,
incorporating
you know, because
that one.
because they're
Well, it's
Kids.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Nickelodeon is
Pictures.
producing it. So.
yeah, because they're kids in that one. Because like Megan Fox, like it's supposed to be young.
You know what I
and-
want? I don't know
I want
his
that movie to
name.
not to exist.
Casey Jones.
No, the trash guy. The guy who's made out of garbage from Teenage Mutant. Someone knows what I'm talking about out there. There was a
I
character
do know
in
who
the
you're talking about. I
animated
just can't.
series.
I can't.
I want
think of-
Casey. I like the guy who played Casey Jones in the original one. He was cool.
Cricket is not a sport.
Oh my god.
Come back here!
Oh.
Damn! Come on, ninja kick the damn rabbit!
Cricket.
No, the first Turtles movie is a good movie. I bought the Blu-ray set just to get the first movie.
I bought
on
the
Blu-ray.
first one and the second one. That was it.
And so I could see Vanilla Ice doing the ninja rap and
Go Ninja,
go ninja, go.
go,
Yeah.
go, go.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have not actually watched my Blu-ray copy of
I love how like
Turtles
there's
3.
a Vanilla Ice concert conveniently next to the bad guys.
It's great.
That's the best part about that movie.
And then Toko and
Hey, wax
Razor.
on, wax
Toko
off.
and Razor. Everybody kept assuming that was what was it? What was their names? Oh, Bebop and Rocksteady.
But Toko and Razor were eventually put in the cartoon, and they were in Turtles in Time, the arcade game.
Really?
Yes.
They put in like the '80s cartoon they put in.
Toward the later seasons.
Really? I didn't know that.
The later seasons.
Yeah,
when
that's
when
what
they changed the theme song to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
You know what they should? You know who actually would be a good movie for Michael Bay to do is a Power Rangers movie. Because I mean, they just pose and stuff explode.
Well, yeah, sparks fly out of their chest, so yeah.
So he would just be like, "Yeah, let's crank this up to 10."
But then Megan Fox would be the Pink Ranger, and I can't stand for that. Because
And
I think
I didn't even
I
They'll
think
think
get
of
they'll
that.
get Channing Tatum to play the Green Ranger.
I think
Jonah Hilden should be the blue one or the black one.
Oh my
But I mean, I think everyone of my age can admit that the Pink Ranger was their first crush, so. No, Megan Fox cannot be the Pink Ranger.
Everybody knows that the Green Ranger was the best Ranger, so.
Jason.
We're not gonna debate
No,
Power
we're those
Rangers.
Rangers.
We're the.
Ah, yeah!
Oh
Hoops of ya!
yeah, I remember that.
You know, they're making a Captain Planet movie. I don't know who the director is. I think it might be Michael Bay, actually.
Better not.
I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, Captain Planet, he's our hero, and he'll take pollution down to zero.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yeah.
Oh
Turtles.
God.
That.
We could just- I guess. Anybody else have anything to add? Maybe we can cut this short. No?
I don't know.
Any news? Nothing?
How are things in Guacamora? No.
Guacamora?
What? No. I'm trying to think.
Besides that,
No.
Harrison Ford broke his arm during the set of Star
Broke
Wars.
his leg.
Broke his leg?
Broke
Yes.
his leg? Oh
Yes.
my god.
They had to delay filming of.
Because he was like, yeah, they brought in the Millennium Falcon again.
Whoa, that's not official. J.J. Abrams hasn't confirmed that.
No, it's gonna be in the movie. It better be. It.
How dare we assume that the Millennium Falcon is in a Star Wars movie? How dare
I
we?
know.
It goes
Right?
past its
Ridiculous.
Arsenal speed. Yeah.
Wait, there is actually going to be a Captain Planet movie?
I think it already came out, according
that's
to this
terrible.
webpage, but...
Oh, what? It was like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie?
Oh, they're remaking Fantastic Four. I forgot about that too. They're
Maybe they'll call
rebooting
the
it.
Future Foundation.
Well, no. If they're going to be the Future Foundation, Johnny's got to die, and then Spider-Man's got to be in it.
Yeah. And one more X-Men movie, Age of
Apocalypse.
Age
That's
of
the last-
Apocalypse.
That's the way. That's the
Oh,
last. That's the
God, we're
last
not gonna
one.
get into the amalgams there.
That's the
We'll
last
be
one
here
that Hugh
forever.
Jackman's gonna be in too.
Well, it's the last one of this X-Men series. Apparently, it's supposed to end now, and then they'll reboot it if they're going to make another one.
They'll reboot it for sure.
The reboot was supposed to be First Class. Like, that was supposed to be the reboot.
But it was
And-
terrible.
And then besides that, they just kind of like.
Charles Xavier,
shoehorned
baby,
it
gonna
into the
read your
others.
mind.
Kevin Bacon.
We're children of the atom.
This is
That
why
was an
we
arcade game.
specifically said that we were just gonna state that X-Men Days of Future Past is a thing.
I'm trying to read his mind, but it's blocking me, Eric. I'm not really sure why.
Magneto and his stupid wooden helmet.
Well, Moira, let me read your mind,
And
baby.
the heroin that he didn't take.
No.
His serum or whatever he called it.
guy. Just no.
The Sentinels look like
Jennifer
destroyers.
Lawrence is Mystique. No,
No.
I prefer
Everything about
Rebecca
that movie.
Romaine Mystique.
So other than that, I know it's kind of old news. They're getting the director for the first Godzilla to do the next 2 installments, so I was very excited about that because
One's supposed to be on Monster Island, I heard too.
nothing's official yet. This is all just speculation.
Also, isn't Ryan Johnson, who did Looper, which is a very good movie, is apparently doing Star Wars Episode 8 and 9.
I'll get back to you on Looper, but no, I can't get back to you. How did you think Looper was a good movie? It had
Looper was
so
an excellent
many
movie.
plot holes.
Every time travel movie has plot holes.
That's true, but this
But
one had,
Looper was
major
excellent.
Okay. My biggest problem with the movie is when they bust in to go take Bruce Willis to send him back. Why did they kill his wife? If it's such a problem killing people those days, why did they just kill her? It was just one of the biggest, like, you fucked your own story in that one scene. The whole point of Looper was that.
Because if she didn't die, he wouldn't have gone back in time and killed Emily Blunt. If he doesn't kill Emily Blunt, then the kid doesn't come up to become the Rainmaker, and it's a time loop like the Terminator movies.
But
It doesn't make any sense, but it was brilliant.
I love Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was doing a great Bruce Willis
So,
impersonation
yes,
movie.
so I will let that movie live. So I did like it. It
It's
just had
okay.
big plot holes.
It's alright. It's alright.
But like you said, what time travel movie doesn't have plot holes? Even Back to the Future has like huge plot holes that just don't make sense at all.
None that I can think of right
No.
now, but
Not really. Not compared to Looper, but yeah.
Well, I mean, come on now.
Just remember, you need the flux capacitor.
and it's fluxing.
That's a movie if they remade would be blasphemy. If they ever remade Back to the Future at all, any of them, even 3. Even if they just skipped 1 and 2 and just made Back to the Future 3 remake, would be
Yeah,
terrible.
Michael Bay would do this. When you think all 88 miles per hour, it'll just explode.
Michael Bay has some good movies, okay?
He has,
just
like-
likes explosions.
He has like 2 out of 100. Let's go with that one. I think Jerry Bruckheimer has more,
He's made 100 movies.
probably.
Who?
Jerry Bruckheimer has
No,
more.
Michael Bay. You said
No.
2 out of his 100 movies are great.
No,
If you count all of his Victoria's Secret commercials, then he's made a movie.
Jerry
Surprised they don't
Bruckheimer.
have
Jerry
it.
Bruckheimer's had a few a little bit more, a little bit better films.
He produced Flashdance, Jerry Bruckheimer.
He did.
He did.
He did Days of Thunder.
Yes.
That was also a good movie.
A lot of flaws.
And The Rock.
Good movie. Welcome to the Walk.
God.
Well, General, sir.
Michael Bihn's in there and he dies, of course.
Yeah.
How do
Michael
you guys
Biehn.
feel about his name escapes me, stepping down from doing Ant-Man?
Oh, Edgar Wright.
Yeah, Edgar Wright.
I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I'm kind of bummed because I was looking forward to Edgar Wright making it, but I don't. I saw Edgar Wright's statement about it where he was like, "Oh, when you have," he was kind of like, "Oh, Marvel doesn't want to have it. Marvel won't let a true auteur do what they want," and like,
Well, they
I
made
don't-
him rewrite the script like 3 times.
it's like Marvel can say we want another draft and whatever. And you know what? That's fine because Dark Knight Rises needed a few more drafts and screenplays. But yeah, because what was the point of Selena Kyle's girlfriend character? No point at all. Anyway, but I'm just saying that if they wanted another draft of screenplays, fine. You know, do what they want. But for Edgar Wright to complain that they won't let a true auteur handle the film, I like you, Edgar Wright. I'm not a fan of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but I love Hot
I like
Fuzz
it
and Shaun of
either,
the Dead, and I enjoyed The World's End. I'm not going to consider Edgar Wright an auteur, a master filmmaker.
He
I mean,
obviously is.
but I
Have
mean,
you seen those 4 movies? we
but it's just
mentioned?
like, I mean, look at every other Marvel film. You've had, not the Incredible Hulk because I don't count it. 'Cause they don't count it either. They don't reference it at all, basically. But it's like, okay, Favreau did Iron Man 1 and 2. Branagh did Thor. Joe Johnston did Captain America. Branagh and Johnston at no point ever said they were doing the sequels. But everyone likes to assume that, now with the Edgar Wright thing, that Marvel kicked them out. It's like, they never said they were going to do it. Shane Black did Iron Man 3, which that's the thing. It's like, if Edgar Wright's complaining that they're not going to let him do it, they let Shane Black write and direct Iron Man 3, for God's sakes. So, and then originally Patty Johnson was supposed to do Thor: The Dark World, and she's actually the only director by Marvel who was fired.
I think she admitted. At least
Yeah, she did not want to make what they wanted her to make. And they were like, no, this is the movie we want to make. It's like, no, I want to do something else. They're like, okay, you're fired. And then they got Alan Taylor from Game of Thrones to do it. And he actually, I think, did a good job. And I enjoyed Thor: The Dark World. And then they got the Russo brothers, who did Liu, Me, and Dupree, for God's sakes, to do Winter Soldier. And it's like, why would you get these guys? But the Winter Soldier's fantastic, and they did a great job.
Probably my favorite
So,
movie of them all.
other than the Avengers, I would
it's
say.
like a tie for the Avengers. I loved Captain America a little bit more than the Avengers just because I felt like it had more story. As in, Avengers, not that it needed more story, it had its point. It was just like, Loki's here to fuck shit up, you gotta stop him, here's another 2 hours to go fight him.
Yeah.
It was great. I just loved the story of Captain America so much, even though, I knew what happened. I had never one scene where there was a point where I was just like, who's gonna be the Winter Soldier? But,
my theater was shocked when it was Bucky.
Really?
Yeah, because my theater was stupid.
Well, it's like at the end of X-Men Days of Future Past, like when you have the end scene with Apocalypse, like if you don't know X-Men lore, then you're just like, who the fuck is this? Just some guy building the pyramids.
It's Ra's al Apocalypse.
Ra's al Apocalypse. Alright, I guess that's it. We can cut this a little bit short, which is totally okay by me. Standing at a hour and 40 minutes. Unless anyone has any last minute things to say. No, nothing.
No, not really. Not seeing Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
You're gonna see it. I'm
No,
gonna make you see it.
I'm not
gonna make
seeing it.
you like it.
I'd rather watch Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Please join us next week, guys. This has been the Nerds of the Round podcast. I've been King Dylan, joined by my knights. That's when you say your name. Be Derek
My name is Derek.
and Nick. We will see you guys next week.
Or will we? No, we won't.
We will. It's definitely a thing. This isn't a cliffhanger ending that we will never not make. Bye-bye, everyone.